running down the lane.
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La Salle.
Alone. Scott got it. Great look by Coach Stick to break down the defense.
Welcome to Tipton High School for the 8th Friday night of this high school football season and what turns into the de facto semifinals in the Hoosier Conference. The winner of this game will play host to West Lafayette in next week's Hoosier Championship game. It is the 6-1 Western Panthers against the 7-0 and number 2 in 2A Tipton Blue Devils. Alongside Lance Schaub, Greg Rakestraw with you. As always, thanks for joining us here on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to us by Encompass Credit Union, proudly serving Tipton, Clinton, and Howard counties by offering a full line of deposit, investment, and lending products. They've got a commitment to our communities. That's a difference you can count on. Check them out online, encompasscu.org. By Marian University, looking for future leaders who want to make the world a better place for all of us. Find out what you're made of at Marian University. Visit us at marian.edu/visit. By Bellarmine University, an excellent college education is affordable at Bellarmine University in Louisville, the premier independent Catholic university in the South. Bellarmine University, explore the world, start within. By Boqua Aquatic Fitness, an exercise program combining aquatics, athletics, and high-intensity interval training. It's a water workout your body will love you for. Grab your Boaks and get wet. And by Indiana Wesleyan University. IWU, the world is waiting. Schedule a visit at discoveriwu.com today. Lance, the goal for any football team in a season is to play important games late in the season, whether that's in the regular season or the postseason. And for each of these two teams, this is as close as they're going to get to the real thing. This feels like a postseason game.
Well, I tell you what, both these coaches and both these programs have been there and done that. They've proven it all year long. The one thing that you talked about, Greg, that I think is just huge is anytime you can play a game of this magnitude, this close to the playoffs, you're going to feel good about yourselves, and you're going to find out really what you need to do, just those final touches to try to make that playoff run.
Our pregame report, a service of Mulberry Health. When it comes to health care, you expect the very best. So at every level of the Mulberry Health experience, that's what they strive to provide. Their goal is to make life as full, rich, and meaningful as possible for you and your family. Give them a call at 765-296-2911 or visit their website at mulberryhealth.com. Mulberry Health, your experience, our calling. You're going to see the flowing locks of KJ Roudabush all over the map tonight for Tipton. He is one of the top passing and running dual-threat quarterbacks, frankly, in the entire state.
Well, I tell you what, KJ has had that special year, really built on last year's success. I love how the 6-foot, 200-pounder is both that true dual run first, throw second. What I like, again, he's completing 62% of his passes, which that is incredible for just a regular passer, but to be a dual threat guy, I'm really excited about watching KJ tonight.
There is a good chance that he'll be over 2,000 total yards combining his passing skills and his rushing skills by the end of this evening's contest. And for Western, they are the definition of ground and pound. They have completed 20 passes over the first 7 games of the season, but after losing their top rusher in Tyler Nepley, now playing at Marian University, guys like Coleman and Kitchell Gifford, quarterback Jed Engel, they have filled the void in a big way.
Well, I tell you what, Kitchell is a special young man, 1,200 yards rushing. What I'm excited about is just watching how Western is going to attack Tipton, because, again, Coach Stewart, has done a great job of rebuilding. I'm not sure anybody really expected them to be 6-1 after who they lost last year, but Kitchell Gifford has done a phenomenal job. Look forward to watching him and Jet Engel play tonight.
Western won the toss, and they want the football. Quickly, time for the keys to the game, brought to us by Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key. Is your stuff safe? At Haley's, we sell, install, and service locks, safes, keys, and much more. Over 50 years of experience, the team at Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key can help you protect what you care about most. Give them a call, 765-447-5726, Haley'sLock.com. And as we say for Western, it comes down to 3 words: run the ball.
Well, I tell you what, as big a deal as it is running the football, I'm anxious to see how both defenses adjust and take away the run. Both are here and have played well on defense. That's why they're 6-1 and 7-0 respectively. So whoever can run the ball and stop the run really gives himself a chance to be successful, along with containing the quarterbacks, especially Western. Okay, trying to contain KJ Rodebush. I'm anxious to see how that goes. And in this part of the season, special teams, when you have two teams this evenly matched, the special teams come down and normally determine the outcome of the game.
In other words, if this comes down to a last-second field goal, we would not be surprised in this one. Western, through 7 games, really hasn't played a close game. Their one loss, you kind of quickly scratch that from the record. 6A Lafayette Jeff back in week number 2. But when they have played teams of their size or from the Hoosier Conference, they have dispatched those teams with ease, including a pair of shutouts in each of the last 3 weeks. Blue Devils on to kick this ball away, and this will be returned. Western will take it just inside their 15-yard line and wrapped up just past the 30. On the return for Western, that is Josh Coleman, their senior running back at all of 5'5" and 145 pounds. He is their second leading ground gainer on the season at just shy of 600 yards on the campaign.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, the thing I'm anxious to see again is how is Western going to attack Tipton. Tipton understands it's run first, run second, run third, but don't fall asleep. You talked about Western completing 20 passes this year. 11 of them have been for touchdowns.
Not to go all technical on you, we can call this a tight shot. There's no wide receivers in this formation. Everything is about loading up the backfield and saying, we think our offensive line is better than yours. First carry of the game, that goes to Kitchell Gifford. He gets a couple on the play. Numerous players on to make the play for Tipton. Elijah Lillis, the player that got off the pile last. Call it a gain of 2.
Well, I tell you what, saw a similar offense last year out of Kokomo, almost that offense in a phone book. It is really effective. I'm anxious to see again how they attack.
It's good preparation for your and my game next week featuring Monrovia. A little off-tackle right play this time. Everybody churning forward. Give Western a gain of 4 on the play. Sets up 3rd down and 4 as Gifford again was the ball carrier.
I tell you, I hope everybody can really understand. Watch the splits of Western. It is almost foot to foot. There really is no room for the Tipton defense, and that's going to be the big challenge, is trying to create a scrum almost look for Western.
And by the way, the quarterback Engel, nowhere to be found. There's lineup going straight old single wing. Snap goes directly to Gifford. Gifford off of right tackle. Gifford will not get it. He has taken down a yard or 2 shy, and a young man that we'll talk about a lot offensively for Tipton over to make the play. That is their second leading rusher on the season to make that tackle for the Blue Devils. Sets up 4th down and 2. That tackle by Peyton Carter.
Great job by Peyton Carter and the whole Tipton defense. 4 pullers. You don't see that very, very often in football in general. 4 pullers that last play for Western. Great job by Tipton at getting to the ball in the backfield.
Look at this, 4th and 2. They're going for it, their own 38-yard line. This has become a big point of conjecture in the National Football League. When do you go for it on 4th and short? The answer for Western is you go for it right here. 1st down and more. They will cross the 50 to the 40. Down the sidelines, and eventually Rodebush, like a lot of these kids in this game, will be a 2-way player. The quarterback also plays some safety. 4th and 2, I'm not even sure you'd call it a gamble, but the coaching decision pays off big time. Jerry Padgett, sophomore running back, with the huge gain.
Great job by Coach Stewart there. What I love, pound it strong side, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down, and then come back and counter. Unfortunately, as we're seeing, a flag is going to bring it back.
Now the question is, where does that flag get thrown from? Just how far down the field was it? You would think it has to be around the line of scrimmage, because simply all of your players are at the line of scrimmage in this running formation. And so what would have been a massive 4th down conversion in a big-time game, wipe all of it off. It did happen past the 1st down marker, but still it gets marked off into a 4th down scenario again for Western.
Well, unfortunate. They're great play call, great gamble. It certainly did pay off. But again, you've got to do it the way that the rules state. And again, great job by Tipton to respond.
So they won't go for it on 4th and 8, but file that away for future use. Ball takes a hop, loose football. Tipton falls on it quickly, but it will be no return on the play. Punt return man back for the Blue Devils was Luke Stoker, who is their leading receiver on the season. So because of a penalty, it ends up being a 3 and out, and we will see Raudebusch lead the charge for the Blue Devils. Again, Raudebusch averaging right about 10 completions a game. They don't exactly throw it all over the yard, but you will see them air it out much more than Western does. And as compared to, from a formational standpoint, whenever Western lines up everybody in tight, much more of a spread look, 3 wide, if not 4, most snaps for Western, even if they're just as or for Tipton, if they're just as likely to run the football out of this formation.
Well, I'm anxious just to watch KJ play here. He, by spreading everybody out, it makes there be a thin box or not a lot of people inside.
Quick hitter, catch made, tackle made almost as quickly. Sebastian Cotter, who listed as the tight end for Tipton. He gets the first grab of the game.
And what I'm excited about there, Greg, is seeing how well do the Tipton wide receivers block on these quick alley screens or bubble screens. Great job on blocking on the perimeter by Tipton.
Call it 2nd down and 4. That is the equivalent of the long handoff, if you will, for Tipton. It certainly has been a potent offense throughout the course of the season. We saw that when they played Central Catholic on these airwaves earlier this year. Handoff. And the rare running back that wears 87, and that is Carter. He's their leading ground gainer from a running back position. And that's good enough for a first down and a solid pickup of 9 yards on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what I really like, you're seeing 2 different philosophies with the same end result. They want to run the football. I love the spread look, makes everybody move outside the box. They're still trying to run the ball first here at Tipton.
Just make you defend a lot more of the field by doing it this way. We'll set up the tight end to the top side of the formation will the Blue Devils. Raudebusch on the keeper, and Raudebusch will get a yard at best. Great work by the defensive line for Western, and namely the player that was there was Braden Erb, a sophomore, to make the play.
Nice job by Erb and really Western in general. Why do people run the quarterback so much? You get an extra blocker, and really it makes it that much harder on the defense just because you have to control one more gap.
And my guess is that your eyes do the same thing as mine. When you see a team spread the ball like that, you go, okay, you start counting the box. There were only 6 in the box. You see them right now, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. That's a mathematical advantage for running the football if you're Tipton.
Well, I'll tell you what, especially when you run the quarterback, now you can put a body on a body.
Raudebusch looks to throw, fires into triple coverage. The ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
Well, KJ there really forced a good job of the Western defense of understanding collapse on the hitch route or the snag route. Really, if KJ has to do that again, the swing route is wide open, but nice job by Western. Almost had the early interception.
Drew Pierce was the intended target. He is the 2nd leading receiver for this Tipton ball club. So 3rd down and 9. 1 first down on the drive here for the Blue Devils so far. Line to gain is the 47-yard line. Blitz coming by Western. Tipton picks it up. Raudebusch fires but overthrows his man. Probably a good thing he did. Western had double coverage on Luke Stoker on the play. An impressive stand by the Western defense.
Great job up front. What I love there was that Western brought a safety blitz off the backside, so they kept their box intact of that 4-2, and then they were able to play zone away from it, which kind of confused KJ a little bit.
Now you'll see a lot of the same offensive personnel will play on punt coverage, but as you can tell, Raudebusch is taking a much longer drop back in terms of kicking this ball down the field. 2 solid offenses, but both are forced to punt to start this game. An outstanding kick by Raudebusch. That will be down right at about the 20-yard line. So call that a 37-yard punt by Raudebusch with no return. Tonight's game is brought to us in part by Bellarmine University. An excellent college education is affordable at Bellarmine University in Louisville, the premier independent Catholic university in the South. Bellarmine University. Explore the world and start within.
I tell you what, Greg, anytime you get teams that are explosive offensively, but they're this good on defense, err towards the side of the defense because that's really why they are winning. Again, the points are coming, and they will come in this game, but both teams are averaging, I think, 16, 14 points roughly in that area defensively. Look for that type of game tonight.
Off tackle, Gifford. Gifford finds an alley. Herb heads south the alley for him, and now down the sidelines, it is a foot race. People haven't caught Gifford all year. It's not going to start now. The last big gain had a flag attached to it. We don't see any flags here. Touchdown for Western. 80 yards the scamper for Kitchell Gifford.
I tell you what, I'm not sure how Tipton's going to address this. There were 4 pullers again on that play. Great job by Kitchell being patient. And then again, once the 4 pullers had gotten in front of him, he let them do their job, and then he just made one cut, and he was off to the races.
For Gifford, he's got as many touchdowns as it matches his uniform number. 21 on the season. And Andrew Freeman is the kicker and punter for Western, and his kick is good. So it's 6:58 left to go here in the opening quarter of play. Western on the board first at Tipton. They lead at 7-0. We're back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
This is the dawn of an old day because AT&T and DirecTV are offering yesterday's technology today. TV from space. As long as it's not too rainy. Or windy. Or there isn't a branch in the way. Welcome to the moment no one's been waiting for.
The fastest internet and the best TV experience is already here with X1, only from Xfinity.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Tonight's game, a service of Encompass Credit Union, proudly serving Tipton, Clinton, and Howard counties by offering a full line of deposit, investment, and lending products. They've got a commitment to our communities. That's a difference you can count on. Check them out online at encompasscu.org.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, really a great start. Couldn't have been any better if Alex Stewart could have drawn up before the game, other than the penalty bringing back on the fourth down call. But great answer by Western.
Freeman to kick this ball off. A bobble on the return. That's Carter with it. They'll get to the 25-yard line. Good extra effort, able to bounce off a tackler or two. And the next drive will start at the 31-yard line. Tackle made by Hunter Cottingham, a junior for Western. Those points given up by Tipton, the first since the last time we saw Tipton. They played Central Catholic in week number 5, outdistancing Central Catholic 49-21. We talk about really not many close games, if any, for Western. Only one that you classify as close for Tipton, and that was a victory at home against Lewis Cass back on September the 7th when they won by 12 points, 27-15.
Well, you talked about this earlier in the pregame, Greg, and that is playing a game like this, a sectional or tournament game like this, so close to the tournament, is only going to help both teams.
Quarterback draw, and Raudebusch gets a yard or two. And once again, a solid tackle made by Western. Andrew Alt helped fill the gap on that play. Give Raudebusch 2, and it sets up second down.
You know, coming into the game, we talked about this earlier, both offenses get so much of the ink and so much of the publicity, but really the defenses are the reason why Western's 6-1 and why Tipton's 7-0.
Western in 4A, Tipton in 2A. And somewhat surprisingly, both teams in the southern half of the bracket in their respective classes. Radabush, look at that throw. It's almost intercepted. Pretty throw, but again, in deep coverage. And what we're seeing early is that while Western's done a good job of stopping the run so far, they are really dropping coverage much further back, trying to take away that passing game for Radabush.
Well, the explosiveness of the Tipton offense, I think, has caused the schematics of Western to really play the bend but don't break and understand. You know, again, KJ is a true dual threat, and he can throw it and likes to throw the ball downfield. I like what Western's doing so far.
Radabush completed his first pass. He's been incomplete on his last 3 since that time. Third down, Tipton. Last third down play was an incomplete pass on the near sideline for the Blue Devils. 5 in the pattern. And Radabush trying to find some room. Absolutely gets drilled, throws the football. But that football was basically thrown away. Again, there was a Tipton player in the vicinity, but not close enough. And Western extremely impressive defensively so far.
Well, the neat thing that Western's been able to do is they're getting pressure and they're containing the Tipton passing game with this 4 down lineman. I think they've had one blitz in the first 2 series, but they're winning up front, and they're causing KJ to be uncomfortable with this 4 down lineman.
Football is math, kids. How many players does it require you to do something, and can you gain the numerical advantage when you're doing it? So far, that advantage belongs to Western. Radabush, his last kick was for 37 yards. This one hops right to the return man for Western. Able to get 10, 15, 20. Flag is thrown behind the play, and it's the second big play of this game that appears to be coming back for Western. They'll still get some positive yards on the play, but what appeared to be field position changing return for the team from Western, unfortunately, is going to be wiped away.
Well, I'll tell you what, special teams, we talked about it before the game, we're going to play a key role here, and we're seeing that early on. And right now, you've got 2 explosive plays by Western. Both have been, or 3, I guess, but one of them has been, or 2 of them have been called back. And again, right now, if you're Coach Stewart, just get your kids to calm down and just keep playing.
Officially a 23-yard return by the Panthers, with 10 yards coming off on the penalty, their second penalty of the game. By the way, tonight's game, a service of Boqua Aquatic Fitness, an exercise program combining aquatics, athletics, and high-intensity interval training. It's a water workout your body will love you for. Grab your Boaks and get wet. Again, the full house backfield coming up here for Western. We do see Jet Engel back there, the quarterback. So much of the offense has been direct snaps to Gifford at this point. They'll simply hand the ball off to him. And again, he kind of hesitates for a moment, as you've talked about, lets that wall of offensive linemen off tackle get in front of you, and Gifford picks up 4.
Greg, in all my years, I've seen double pullers. I very rarely have I seen 3, and they've got 4 on a regular basis. I am dumbfounded watching. This is awesome up front.
So our last game was special teams night. This is the offensive pulling night that we're seeing. A little counter play here, and that is to Coleman, and you can see why that counterplay works for Coleman. You can't find him behind those offensive linemen. 7-yard pickup, first down, Western.
Well, I tell you what, Coleman's patient again. What I love about just watching Western thus far is the patience that we're seeing from the backfield to allow the play to develop, not being in a hurry.
They'll again go off right tackle. It's Gifford, and Gifford just works his way through the traffic, crossing the 50-yard line. Gifford quickly approaching 100 yards. He's got 99 yards on 6 carries so far. Of course, 80 of those on 1 play.
Well, I tell you what I saw what Tipton's doing to try to adjust here, they're going to start bringing pressure, and really what you want to do is disrupt the pullers. And that time, 2 of the 4 couldn't get out, which helped them slow down, which helped Tipton a little bit.
Not overly surprisingly, Western hasn't attempted a pass until right now. Engel will throw and had a man, but just overthrows him ever so slightly. Cooper Jarvis was the intended target on the play.
Nice job by Tipton. Again, didn't bring pressure. Felt like it was going to be a passing situation. Played just base defense there. Was able to make Engel a little uncomfortable. Really, if he had to do it again, Jet probably might have been better off just taking that ball and running a little bit.
On average, Western throws the ball 7 times a game. 3rd down and 4. Handoff goes to Gifford. Gifford able to make one tackler miss, but not tacklers 2 and 3. Making the wrap-up for Tipton on that play, Roman Baird, a senior defensive end, and it sets up 4th down. Again, Western 4th and 2, their own 38, went for it. But it looks like special teams is coming on here.
Well, I tell you what, again, another great job by Tipton and Coach Toll. They're getting penetration. Penetration hurts pullers, and really that's probably the one thing that the night's adjustment that Tipton has made to try to slow down the Western running game.
Noah Sanders on for his 2nd punt attempt of the game. Gets that one away. Tipton will field the 20-yard line. And they'll bring it back to past the 25-yard line. Just a 28-yard kick, about a 6 or 7-yard return. That was Pierce on the punt return. And so Tipton's defense gets an answer.
Well, I tell you what, really nice job by Tipton of responding after the previous set of downs where they gave up the big touchdown. Now, let's see what Tipton's adjustment is offensively. Western has done a nice job the first couple series of slowing down Rodebush and the Tipton offense. Looking forward to seeing what Coach Toll's adjustment is now that they got the ball back.
I believe there was a flag against Western for an illegal formation on the punt. However, that has been wiped away. 3.5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. Greg Rakestraw and Lance Shive with you. Thanks to Greg Mash, Kevin Gasho, and Jake Morris behind the scenes, our ISC Sports Network crew for this outstanding Hoosier Conference matchup. 3-wide formation this time for Tipton. Rodebush will hand it off, and not much room there. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Carter. So far, 12 yards rushing on 4 carries for the Blue Devils.
Well, I tell you what, the one thing that Western's doing, and we saw it there with Shaw, is there's a 6-man box, but Shaw is playing both run and pass. Showed it early, thought that Rodebush might be able to check out of it, but really was playing more run than he was pass to get that 7th guy there close to the line of scrimmage.
So he's playing safety, but can work into the box to
exactly
help adjust the numbers game that we have talked about so frequently already. Just 1 first down so far for Tipton. That came on the opening drive of the game. Quick hitter. Catch made. That's Connor. And Connor right at the first down marker. That should be able to move the chains. And again, that might be the adjustment Aaron Toll has made as they get the ball to the tight end.
Well, I tell you what, nice job that time by KJ. I think it was one of those RPOs that we talk a lot about, and that is that time Shaw backed out of there, which then gave KJ Rodebush the opportunity to throw the uncovered or the bubble, and it gave himself a very third and manageable.
Yeah, they will mark it as just a yard shy. So call it a gain of 9 on the play. And it sets up 3rd down and a yard. They will stay in the shotgun formation, but as you expect, with Rodebush's running skills, you can see him spin off the first wave of tacklers there. Rodebush with his best ground gain so far, and the 2nd first down of the quarter for the Tipton Blue Devils.
Again, that was just the case, Greg, that Tipton had more blockers than Western had defenders. Great job by Coach Toll of understanding that and just running Rodebush.
The ball spotted now at the 39-yard line. Officially call that last gain of 7. Western dropping backers off the line of scrimmage now. Quick pitch and catch, and just as quick was the tackle. Good tackle made by Western. Connor Hartzell, senior cornerback, makes the tackle of Luke Stoker. For Stoker, he is their leading receiver on the season, averages about 4 catches a game. Back-to-back completions for the first time tonight for Raudebusch, but it's still second and long.
Great job by Western and Harsall there with open field tackling. That's huge against Tipton with their spread offense.
And Stoker averages about 11 yards a catch, so that's just a 2-yard pickup on first down. Raudebusch now 3 of 7 for 17 yards here in the late stages of quarter number 1. Single wing here. Raudebusch makes the first defender miss and then pulls a defender or two with him. He'll pick up 6 yards on the play. Peyton Stroud makes the tackle for Western, but it now will set up 3rd down and 2.
Nice job by Stroud, but even a better job by Raudebusch. Again, for 200 pounds, he is nimble. I love the way he makes guys miss. He's got great feet. Again, just speaks to his athleticism, which is why he does play both offense and defense.
As a senior, is his future in college maybe as a running back or a quarterback?
I tell you what, it all depends on where he goes.
Might even be defense,
yeah,
too, to be
because
honest with you.
You know what? The biggest thing I like about him is he's an athlete, so I think he gives himself that chance to play multiple spots at the next level.
3rd and a yard, they elect to throw it, and they'll get it, and it's Connor with his 3rd catch of the game, and he'll cross the 50-yard line. Now we're starting to see this Tipton offense getting a little bit more of a rhythm.
Well, I tell you what, Western on second down brought pressure. Look for Western here on first down probably to do the same thing just because they got to do something to disrupt Tipton's rhythm.
So Tipton comes to the sidelines after picking up the first down as they cross the 50-yard line on the play. Let's quickly take a timeout. We'll come back. More action after this as you're watching high school football here on the ISC Sports Network.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions. Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't: give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
What are you made of? Until now, you learned you were atoms, DNA, and exactly 206 bones, which you learned how to use to compete. And now comes the biggest decision of your life. But we'll be here to challenge you. Think outside yourself. Investigate. Find a new way. Get involved. And serve others. The next 4 years will shape the rest of your life. So ask yourself, what are you made of?
After 1 quarter of play, it is 7-0 Western leading Tipton, but Tipton putting together their best offensive drive of the contest so far. Our second quarter, a service of Marian University, looking for future leaders who want to make the world a better place for all of us. Find out what you're made of at Marian University. Visit us at marian.edu/visit. Alongside Lance Scheib, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the ISC Sports Network. That was as easy of a quarter change for the chain gang as you'll ever have. Ball got moved 6 feet from one side of the 50 to the other. Tipton hopes to move a little bit more on this play. What are you seeing now on drive number 3, Lance?
Well, I tell you what, you're starting to see better balance. You're able, Tipton's done a really good job of stressing Western, both running and passing. Look for now for Western to start bringing pressure to try to disrupt Raudebusch's reads.
Western has held this potent Tipton offense just 43 yards in the opening quarter and 3 first downs. Empty set here. Raudebusch surveying the field, looking for the home run ball. Has his man. What a grab. First down, Tipton inside the 10-yard line.
great throw, great catch. Again, it was defended properly. I was kind of surprised with the empty set, no pressure out of Western there. Again, anytime you give a good quarterback time, he's going to have a chance to pick you apart. Again, great throw and catch by Tipton.
But how about the absolute dime dropped by Raudebusch? That was from 42 yards away, and he laid it in there perfectly.
Well, I tell you what, the neat thing again that he did was he made it a very catchable ball, allowed his receiver to adjust to it, and again, now Tipton is knocking on the door.
The 1st and goal. Carter got a bit of a head start. I'm not sure anybody caught it. Touchdown. He was going forward at the snap, but it looks like no flag was thrown. 7 yards and a touchdown for Tipton.
Great job up front by the Tipton lineman there. Really a great answer by Tipton. Really, first 2 drives, not a lot of offense there. Give a lot of credit to the adjustments of Coach Toll and the Blue Devils offense.
Extra point try coming up here for the Blue Devils. Nathan Slack is the kicker. And certainly plenty of distance on that one with 11:19 left to go in quarter number 2. We are all tied up at 7. Just took the quarter break. We will keep it right here. Let's thank another one of our great sponsors, our friends at Indiana Wesleyan University. The world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. IWU can help you discover, clarify, or develop your calling. Schedule a visit today at discoveriwu.com.
Well, I tell you what, I'm anxious now to see what Western will do. They had a great start to this game. Last possession, Tipton started bringing a lot of pressure to disrupt those pullers. I'll be anxious to probably see more counters or something to counter against what Tipton's doing and their pressure.
And that's the thing that's unique about this one. And obviously there's adjustments that are made throughout a football game, but you're seeing the adjustments very early in this one. We're 12 minutes and 41 seconds in, and you can kind of see what teams are doing differently now on a possession-by-possession basis.
Well, I tell you what, these teams both are well coached. They play great defense, and they're at this point in the season because they can make adjustments and make them quickly.
Slack with the kick for Tipton. Coleman will field at the 8-yard line for the Panthers. Coleman, he wrestled down at about the 25. Tipton tackle made on the play by Christian Hunter.
Nice job again. Anytime you can start your 25-plus, you feel like that's a good return at any level. And again, to be right up there on the 25-yard line again, good start for Western, good field position. Anxious to see if Tipton will keep bringing pressure now as they did last possession.
And we have talked about, Western's kind of held Tipton in check. Let's face it, Western's had one big play. That's
right.
Really what they've had so far, the 80-yard scamper by Gifford. Engel will take the direct snap. This time it'll be Gifford, and the first time we've really seen him go directly up the middle. It has a good result as he picks up 6 yards. Connor makes the tackle for the Blue Devils.
Well, great adjustment there by Coach Stewart and his offense there. Instead of pulling where you're creating lanes for blitzing linebackers, they just went man-on-man and went straight ahead. Gifford, again, nice change-up by Western and their offense.
Blitz coming. Everybody in the backfield for Tipton. Doesn't matter to Gifford. Able to cross the 35-yard line. It's going to be very close to a first down. If he doesn't have it, he's maybe a couple of inches short, and that will be the case.
I'll tell you what, again, Tipton, as they did last possession, Greg, brought pressure, disrupted the pullers, but Gifford was able still to kind of sneak his way through. Great job of finding a crease.
So 3rd and short. Direct snap to Gifford. Saw there was no room inside, bounces it outside, crosses the 50, and keeps the legs churning. It takes about half the senior class of Tipton to bring him down. First down, Western after a 25-yard pickup.
Well, I tell you what, Tipton did a great job of closing down the edge and disrupting the pullers, but Gifford, when you do that, you got no support on the outside. Everybody look, again, it's been tackle to tackle. Great job by Gifford of just bouncing it outside to create a room for a first down.
Gifford's vision is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Again, Engel not in the formation this time. Direct snap goes to Gifford. He'll run the counter, but somebody moved early, and that'll be the third penalty of the game whistled against Western. And with that, Engel will come back in.
It's kind of neat. This offense reminds me a little bit of Rensselaer Central that was in the state finals a couple years ago. Again, it's almost single wing T. Again, it's what Brett Colby ran at Kokomo, similar to it.
Of course, these two are conference foes, but are in different sides of the conference. Western in the Eastern Division. Double handoff wing T style, that's Coleman, and Tipton was sitting there waiting on him. Coleman gets a yard at best. Tackle by Tipton made by Elijah Lillis, 2nd and long.
Great job by Lillis because, again, that almost was, even though it was a different design, same concept. Western's trying to bounce it outside on the double handoff. They had success last time with Gifford just running outside or bouncing it outside. Again, trying to adjust to Tipton crashing inside and bringing pressure.
As you can see, a good chunk of Roosevelt is here tonight. Those visiting stands are full across the way. Low snap. Engel picks it up. Gifford slips. Wasn't much room there anyway, and whether it's right side or left side, Lillis has had both sides covered the last two plays, 3rd and long.
Lillis, great job, but it really starts up front. When you're playing an offense like this, it's almost like breaking up a wedge on a kickoff return. You want to blow the wedge up, make everything bounce outside and disrupt it. Nice job by Tipton. And Lillis, there was nobody left to block him after they blew the wedge up.
Something new here for Western. A wide receiver is brought in on this formation. That would be Parker Shelton, who leads them in receptions on the year with 8. 5 of them have gone for touchdowns. Another hopper back to Engel. He'll fire, and it looked like that ball almost slipped out of his hands. He has a glove on as he's throwing the football. Of course, it's a perfect weather night. However, was not a perfect throw, and punt team will be asked to come on 4th and long.
Another great stop and defensive series for Tipton, as you talked about earlier, Greg, is really, other than the one long play by Gifford, it's really been a pretty solid performance thus far against a really, really good Western offense.
Just 3 first downs so far for Western. One of those, the 80-yard scamper for a score by Gifford. Sanders is on for the punt. He'll kick it away from the 45-yard line. This one takes a high hop, fielded by Stoker. Stoker will cross the 25-yard line. So call it a 32-yard punt with about a 10 or so yard return, and the Blue Devils will take over just past their own 20-yard line.
What I like what Stoker does here is he catches the ball as quickly as he can, even though it hit the ground, but it's great field position for Tipton.
Tonight's game, a service of Healthy Communities of Clinton County. They offer free monthly health screenings throughout Clinton County. These screenings are free and open to all. For locations and more information, visit healthyclintoncounty.org. And alongside Lance Schott, Greg Rakestraw with you. Winner of this game will play host to West Lafayette for the Hoosier Conference Championship next Friday night. 4 wide set here. They'll bring Connor back into the formation. That would be the in vogue run pass option. Western was having none of it. Radebush is dropped for about a 3-yard loss.
That is really the 2018 version of a triple option.
Yep.
And again, you got a chance to read the defensive end, and then you've got the deep motion by the wing back there to create a triple option look. Great job by Western, having no go at the fullback and collapsing down to tackle Radebush.
Hartsoe was the player that made the play for Western. So 2nd down and long. Radebush, deep throw, but overthrows everybody. Now, was there? Yep, there was a flag. Ruled to have been a collision between the cornerback and wide receiver on the play. And frankly, because the ball was thrown so far down the field, the spot is relevant. It's going to be 15 yards and a 1st down. And if there's a difference in this game, it is penalties. None so far against Tipton. 4 now against Western for a total of 40 yards.
Well, I'm sure that Coach Stewart will address that at halftime because, again, his team is playing well, but right now they're giving Tipton life and extra yards just because they're creating adversity for themselves with self-inflicted penalties.
So ball moved to the 39-yard line.
What I'm anxious for, Greg, is see how long Western will be patient in their 4-2 defense. They really are playing just a base defense against the run.
Raudebush. Ball is caught, first down, that's Pierce. And Raudebush has now completed his last 5 passes.
Well, you talked about how early on Raudebush had thrown in the coverage. Well, he's in a rhythm now. So, again, if I'm Coach Stewart, let's do something to disrupt that rhythm. Look for pressure, but then also look for now Tipton, if they see pressure, to throw those quick screens to get the ball out of Raudebush's hands quickly.
It's also now 6 first downs in the half for Tipton, as they have crossed the 50-yard line in successive drives. Trips to the near side this time for the Blue Devils. They'll bring a 4th receiver over as well. That's exactly where the ball's going. That's not Carter. That's a fumble. Tipton will fall on it eventually. Pierce gets to it and ends up being a play for no gain for Tipton. Now they'll lose a couple on the play.
Well, again, great job of blocking by Tipton. Love the play call. Thought for sure Western might be bringing pressure. Coach Toll thought the same thing. Ball security is huge in any game, especially when you've got 2 evenly matched teams.
6.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Tied at 7. That was Hyatt Flanagan. First time we have called his name tonight. Technically, they'll say it's a loss of 1 on the play. Call it 2nd down and 11. Empty set here for Tipton. Quarterback draw. And great job to steer him back in and then make the tackle by Western, Noah Pownall, junior outside linebacker.
Pownall did a great job of being patient. He kind of snuck behind and hid behind the defensive wall, and then again was able to get outside and make the tackle. Nice job.
So 3rd and long coming up here for Tipton. And Western's done a good job of limiting Raudebush's effectiveness as a runner. Now he's starting to get going as a passer. But Raudebush 6 carries for 12 yards so far in this game. 3rd and 10. Western hinting at a blitz. And they do bring it. 6, free rusher, screen set up. It's Flanagan, but Flanagan just can't get through all of the traffic. Only problem with that play was for Tipton, they ran that ball short side. It was easier for backers to get over there. Solid gain and potentially enough where you think about going for it on 4th down.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love what Western did there. They brought pressure to disrupt Tipton and Raudebush. Great call by Coach Toll, because he felt like here comes the pressure. But to your point, Greg, when it was to the short side, just was nowhere to run the ball.
It looks like they will go for it, as we're past the 6-minute mark now in the 2nd quarter of this game. Line to gain is the 37. When you're moving players like that, it could be just an attempt to draw somebody offside. Nope, they'll run it. Raudebush, quick kicks blocked. That's a live football. It's fielded. This could be returned. Carter does a good job to quickly wrap up the player. So when your quarterback's your punter, you can try a variety of things. And a player from Western quickly able to pounce on that football. So I couldn't see who blocked the ball, but the player that was heads up in grabbing it and turning upfield was Evan Shaw.
Great job by Shaw to realize what had happened. Nice penetration by Western to create the tip ball or block punt. And again, I like the design by Tipton, just did not fully execute it well.
So Western takes over at the 45-yard line. As you can see, both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. And Western would love nothing more than to go 4-minute drill here and just kind of ground up some time and yardage. Gifford crosses the 50 and give him a gain of 7 yards. And unofficially, we've got him with 12 carries for 140 yards already.
Well, I tell you what, the single wing, which is what they're really running here with a direct snap to Gifford, is really causing Tipton problems. They just have more bodies or more hats or people at the point of attack than what Tipton does.
Not sure if there was a Penalty there, I think just more of an official's conversation more than anything else. Yep, no flag. The second down and 3. Every yard has been on the ground so far for Western. Engel is 0 for 2 throwing the football so far, and Engel is not in the game. It'll be a direct snap to Gifford. 3 blockers in front of him. A couple of linemen assisting. Gifford, extra effort, should get him the first down.
Great job up front. Nice job by Tipton of really limiting what was going to go on. The problem was it was second and short, and Gifford, again, realizing that he needs to be patient, let everything develop, did a good enough job to either get the first down or close to it. Nice job.
Chain gang does move. 4th first down of the game for Western. And they now have 151 yards of offense, 80 of that on one play. Their lone touchdown coming at the 6:58 mark of the opening quarter.
Well, the best thing right now, Greg, that Western's doing is they're controlling the ball and the clock, giving their defense a little bit of a breather.
Engel back in the game, but hands off to Gifford. Gifford, first down, still going, and it takes 3 Tipton players to bring him down. Lillis was the last guy to get there, but not before Gifford picks up 17 yards.
Great job by Gifford. Again, what I like, the adjustment that Coach Stewart's made offensively is about every second or third play has been straight ahead, man-on-man blocking, which can account then for a blitzing linebackers of Tipton.
160 yards already for Gifford. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep getting him the ball. He'll pick up 3, make it 4. He's hit by about 4 different Tipton players to get those 4 yards, second down.
Again, Gifford, great job of being patient, but great job of just bouncing off. He keeps restarting his feet. All young backs, if there's one thing that you can do while you're watching Gifford here, watch out on contact. His feet never stop. Thus, it allows him to keep moving forward and gaining yards after he's been hit.
Blake Banner, Braden Erb, Ian Sharon amongst the players. Up there blocking for him, Reese Pelgin as well. Direct snap to Gifford. Gifford wrapped up right around the first down marker. Connor in to make the tackle. He was the second man in for Tipton. Flanagan was the first, and that should be enough to move the chains yet again for a Western first down.
Great job again by the Western offensive line and in general by the Western offense of just moving the ball and moving the chains.
And Western will call a timeout. Let's take it with them. After what was a 7-yard pickup by Gifford, unofficially 171 yards rushing for Gifford here in the first half, and it looks like he may need a breather. We'll take it with him. Panthers and Blue Devils tied at 7 on the ISC Sports Network.
Bellarmine is my home away from home. I feel like I have a family there.
That connectedness kind of pushes everyone as a collective group to be something more.
Everybody looks excited to go to class, and like professors even stop in the quad to talk to you, and that's something that you don't find everywhere.
I know that Bellarmine really cares about whether or not their students can afford the university, and they go out of their way to make sure they can afford the university.
I don't think I would be who I am today without Bellarmine University.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Mom, we're late, and I left my soccer bag at Cindy's, and I need to get my dress today.
It's okay, honey. I'll take care of it.
Oh, Mom, I'll take care of it.
We'll take care of it. With more ways to access Indiana's most highly skilled primary care doctors.
Stop!
Indiana University Health makes it easy to take care of your family.
What? I told you I'd take care of it.
Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
2 minutes, 24 seconds left to go before halftime. Tied at 7. Just trying to find some room to run. Again, great patience by Gifford. And look at that leg drive. My goodness. Kids, that's why you spend time in the weight room in the offseason. Tipton looked like they had that play bottled up for no gain, and Gifford will pick up 9 yards.
Well, again, Gifford just let everything kind of develop. The one thing I love about watching him run, he is so daggone patient, and when you're patient, again, now you can run to the butts of your blockers, and again, he has done a fantastic job on this drive and all game.
Just need a yard to pick up the first down here. Gifford again gets more than a yard. He won't get much more than that, but it'll set up first down and goal as we are now under 2 minutes left to go before halftime, and Western does have 2 timeouts they can take.
Well, again, I like the substitution by Tipton. They're bringing in more of a defensive lineman and taking out a linebacker, trying to get themselves more bodies at the line of scrimmage to help against those polling linemen and just the beef of the offensive line for Western.
And Western will huddle here just because they don't want to give that talented offense of Tipton and K.J. Raudebush more time. You may see the Blue Devils start taking some timeouts. Of note, Tipton does have the ball to begin the third quarter. Engel on the handoff. Coleman on the counter. He's trying to shove his center in the end zone. Extra effort. I don't think he got in. I think he does get inside the 1 yard line. Yes, he does. Second down and goal.
Well, you talked about it earlier, Greg, and that is just you can't find him.
Nope.
Again, great job. The offensive lineman, great push. I love the play call again, some type of counter, but again, patience by the running backs.
Handoff goes to Gifford. Gifford hitting the backfield. Doesn't make it in. Third down.
Great job again of almost piling up and creating a wall there for Tipton then, and really there was nowhere to run the ball that time for Gifford.
Second timeout taken by Western. This Western team, as we've talked about, they are in 4A. They are the largest school in the Hoosier Conference, and they were one of the handful of schools that joined this league when the Mid-Indiana Conference went away. So Western, Hamilton Heights, Northwestern, and Lewis Cass are new to this league that is now a 10-team league and goes to 2 5-team divisions. The West Lafayette has already wrapped up the divisional championship in the western half of the conference, and these two teams are playing for the championship in the eastern half of the conference. This Western team in a very talented sectional 21 with an undefeated Marion team, pretty solid Pendleton Heights and Delta squads, and a Mississinewa team at 7-1. That is a very good sectional. Again, that is in the southern half of the 4A bracket. No Engel on this play. It'll be a direct snap to Gifford. Gifford waits for his blockers to develop. Tries to push the wall forward, dives. I think he's in. Touchdown, is it? No, didn't get in. Roll to be down. Fourth down.
Great job of getting to the ball by Tipton. Nice job, again, of just hanging on, not letting Gifford pull him into the end zone here. Huge fourth down play here for Western.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same play. And everybody kind of creeping up closer to the line of scrimmage. And now Tipton, again, with the idea defensive want to get a look at the formation, but also they like to get the ball back with their potent offense. Now Tipton will take a timeout.
Well, what I'll be curious about here, again, look for the same play that Western ran for on their last third and short, where, again, they got to be very weary of Gifford getting outside because everybody's going to be crashing inside. He is so talented on his vision. And again, I would look for some kind of inside-out play here if I'm Western. And again, Tipton, they've got to stop the inside first, but they got to have the support on the perimeter here, and they really probably need to sell out all 11 against the run.
For Tipton, the postseason path, there is truly one team that they have their eyeballs on in the postseason, and that is Western Boone, because those two teams are numbers 1 and 2 in Class 2A. Both undefeated heading into this weekend, and Western Boone is loaded under head coach Justin Pelley. They won the sectional last year, then lost to Cecina at home in the regional, but Western Boone has been playing all teams above Class 2A, and they have been crushing people so far this year.
I tell you what, Justin Pelly has done a great job, learned a lot from his father, but he has got Western Boone in a great spot.
Low hand, low snap, doesn't matter. Gifford, touchdown. So it took a couple of more plays than Western might have liked. Then again, they don't mind hanging on to the football to keep that clock rolling. Gifford, his second touchdown of the night on his 21st carry of the first half. And the Panthers have a 6-point lead.
What I loved about the play design was when you bring the motion man across, now that takes a linebacker and the perimeter players on the outside out at least 1 or 2 steps, and then just allowed a huge crease for Gifford to find the end zone.
Freeman is on for the extra point, connected on his first one. High snap. Kick has plenty of distance, and this one is good. So it's 14-7 in favor of Western here in the late stages of quarter number 2.
I'll tell you what, if you're Western and Coach Stewart could not have asked for a better, you talked about before the drive started, Greg, of a 4-minute drive. They had that and then some. And so, again, they did a fantastic job of resting their defense, scoring, running the clock. This game in the first half could not have gone any better for Western and Coach Stewart.
We referenced Tipton and Western Boone on a collision course in their sectional. Only other team above 500 is North Putnam. North Putt comes in at 5-3. Tipton in the Hoosier Conference, Western Boone in the Sagamore Athletic Conference. Other schools in the sectional: Speedway, North Putt, Cascade, Indianapolis, Washington, Park Tudor, who forfeited their game last week due to lack of numbers against Monrovia, and Cloverdale, whom we had a couple of weeks ago on the ISC Sports Network. But really, it's Tipton and Western Boone that are the teams that draw your attention.
I'll tell you what, just watching here, tonight, Tipton again, and that should be a great sectional with Western Boone. Don't count out North Putnam. We had them earlier as well, and again, but this probably is more of a 2-horse race.
Low line drive kick, fielded inside the 20-yard line. That's Stoker. He'll bring it back out to about 34, and again, it's Flanning, excuse me. He'll bring it, you'll have about 17, 18 seconds left to go here before halftime, and with Raudebusch's arm, I'm thinking a couple of shots down the field here.
Well, I tell you what, again, you've got to give him a chance here. When you get the ball almost to the third, past the 30, that changes your mindset as a coach now. And again, we've seen Raudebusch deliver on the deep throw. So again, he's capable of doing it. Let's see if that's how Coach Toll wants to play this last part of the second quarter.
After having a stretch of 4 consecutive incompletions at one point, Raudebusch has now completed his last 7 passes. He is 8 for 12. For 80 yards. Again, Tipton does have the ball to start the second half. That'll be a handoff. It'll be a solid gain. That will be a first down. That is Carter, who picks up a gain of about 12. Do you think about calling the timeout here, or are you simply happy to go to the locker room at this point? It looks like it is the latter, as the Blue Devils, if you do call one timeout here and just take that one shot down the field, especially now knowing you're almost close to midfield for Carter. That was his longest ground gain of the day. And with 14 seconds left to go, probably time for 2 more plays at this juncture if you're Tipton.
Well, I tell you what, again, if I'm Coach Toll, I'm probably tempted to come back to that run again with 13 seconds left, get the ball past midfield, makes it a more high percentage, even though it's going to be a jump ball. It gives your quarterback a better chance of getting the ball to the end zone. With that one timeout left, if you can get 10, 12, 15 yards, because Western's going to play pass first. And so, again, that run may be a great way of making this a more manageable throw to the end zone.
It's not lost on me that number 87 is named Peyton, yet he has Reggie Wayne's number.
I tell you what, it's neat to see the effect of Peyton Manning on how many Peytons there are that we call just because of what Peyton Manning has done for Indiana football and high school football in general.
I'm not sure if he was a senior last year or not, but Western Boone, one of their top players last year,
yes.
A kid named Peyton Young, absolutely. First down and 10. Raudebusch fires. Catch was made to get a foot down. Waiting on a signal, doesn't look like it. Just led him a bit too much on that throw, did Raudebusch.
But Greg, the arm strength there, that was a you talk about what can you play at the next level. That is a right hash throw to the left boundary on the out, and that was really on a rope. His arm strength is really impressive.
So second down, time for 2 plays at most for Tipton, and maybe only time for one heave. We have seen him throw the ball 40 yards down the field. Obviously, he's 54 yards away from the end zone currently is Roudabush. Safety's dropping back here for Western. They'll go for the quick hitter, try to get 2 for 1. First down, Pierce steps out of bounds. Did he leave enough time? It appears he did. And that is a first down, a pickup of 12 yards. And now Tipton is 42 yards away from the end zone.
I like the play call there. Again, you got just enough time. Everybody understand where the clock is. And again, get as much as you can, but give yourself a little better attempt to be able to throw that jump ball on this last play.
And for the second play in a row, I'll reference the fact he has a 42-yard completion already in this game. So barring a penalty, final snap of the half. Western will bring just 3. Roudabush fires towards the end zone. Jump ball, and he had more than enough arm. He clearly had too much arm on that ball as Pierce could not track it down, and the half will come to its conclusion. Exactly what we expected. A fiercely contested contest between 2 really good football teams. At halftime, it's the visitors from Western that have a 14-7 lead. Stay tuned. The Boca Aquatic Fitness Halftime Show comes your way next as you're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
BOQA stands for Body Aquatics. Had a woman that works out in one of the facilities I work out. She had a hard time picking up her kids. She and her mom started taking BOQA. And after about a month and a half, she came up to me before one class and just gave me a huge hug. And I was like, well, hi, how you doing? She's like, you've saved my life. After a month and a half in doing this, my doctor was so amazed at how well I could move and how easily my joints weren't aching. And the biggest thing, I've been able to pick up my daughter without pain for the first time in years.
The thing that BOQA does for me with Parkinson's is it helps me with my balance. It's a big thing. It helps me keep my muscles flexible because with Parkinson's your body becomes stiff. This helps me be flexible, get exercise, and helps with weight loss. It's been a great thing for me.
BOQA is athletics, aquatics, and exercise put together in a fun, effective package that allows you to get in great shape, safely, effectively with a bunch of friends.
It is a low impact exercise, so it's not hard on your joints. People who have injuries can do all the exercises at their own pace, but yet get the benefit of exercise in the water.
My degree is in exercise science. And so in college, I discovered athletic training, and so I started working with athletics right off the bat. And with an internship that I had with the Philadelphia Eagles, the head trainer said, well, because you have aquatic training, because you're a lifeguard, you get to work out the athletes that have lower extremity injuries in the water. Literally thrown in the deep end of the pool to learn how to do aquatic therapy.
I saw my sister, and she said, come take BOQA with me. I said, what's BOQA? And she said, well, you'll find out. And I did. And I've taken BOQA every chance I've had since. If I could do it 5 nights a week, I probably would.
When you visit Pepe's Mexican restaurant, you'll be greeted a fun, vibrant family atmosphere. Whether you're joining us for lunch, dinner, or a special occasion, our manageable prices and sizable portions of authentic Mexican dishes will guarantee you won't be leaving hungry. And as always, free appetizers for waiting, because that's just the way we are. So come dine in or carry out. Open 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. every day. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, located at 2525 Sagamore Parkway in the mall parking lot, Lafayette.
Applying for healthcare coverage can be hard. Let us help.
Covering Kids and Families of Indiana's local licensed navigators provide free assistance to kids and adults.
Go to www.ckfindiana.org. Click
on your county, schedule an appointment.
For more information, please give us a call at the number listed below.
Se habla español.
We're shopping for new floor covering at Carpetland USA. You may think we're too little, but let's face it, we're a lot closer to the ground. We know floors. See what I mean? Carpetland USA has a ginormous selection. But most of all, we can count on these guys. Over 200 years of combined experience. That's older than me!
Carpetland USA, State Road 26.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. I just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marion my best.
Tired of watching the same old things on TV? Something new is on the horizon. The ISC Sports Network. Contact your cable provider today to add the ISC Sports Network. See the big games, the big moments, the championships, and more from all across the state. High schools, colleges, original content you can't find anywhere else. On the ISC Sports Network, it's all here. Find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Hey, can you help me move?
Oh, you know what? I'm stuck at the office.
Hi, I'm moving.
No problem, sir. You can get your Xfinity services installed on the date you choose or have a self-install kit sent to your new home.
Thank you.
Finally get some help moving. Call 1-855-MOVE-EDGE today.
If Usain Bolt represents Xfinity Internet, what happens when we double the speed on 2 of our most popular plans? Meet his twice-as-fast brother, Insane Bolt. Now stream movies and shows twice as fast. Xfinity, the fastest just got faster.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Back at halftime, teams about to re-enter the field, so it's time for our Boca Aquatic Fitness halftime show. An exercise program combining aquatics, athletics, and high-intensity interval training. It's a water workout your body will love you for. Grab your boats and get wet. Lance, this is why you and I do what we do. This game has been fun. It's exactly what we expected. These two teams have lived up to the high bar they have set for themselves all season long.
Well, I tell you what, I've just been impressed with the game in general, other than the few penalties by Western in that first half. It's been a really well-played game. I think, again, I've been impressed with both defenses. Again, what I like is just the physicality of both teams wanting to run the football and both teams being able to make adjustments quickly, as we talked about in the first half, trying to slow each other's running game down.
Total offense in the first half, Tipton 132 yards of offense, 92 in the air, 40 on the ground, 40 yards on 10 carries, 6 for Raudebusch by 12, 4 for Carter for 28. Raudebusch was 9 of 15 for 92 yards. Connor, his favorite target, with 3. Pierce had 2 catches for 26 yards, and of course a 42-yard completion as well. For Western, 196 yards of offense, and all of those on the ground. And of their total offensive snaps, which were 26, 21 of them were handoffs to Gifford or direct snaps to Gifford, and he had 183 yards and both rushing touchdowns.
Well, I tell you what, Gifford again comes in with over 1,200 yards of offense. And again, I'm just impressed with just his overall presence. He's got that great breakaway speed, but he's got the power to run through you. His yards after contact have been the most impressive thing for me in the first half of the game.
Both teams with 3 punts in the first half, and Lance referenced the only difference right now, it has been on penalties. Not a flag against Tipton in this game. 4 so far against Western, and those holds negated a couple of big plays, but has it really maybe changed the course of this game? Not at this juncture.
Well, I tell you what, it's been well played. When you've got 2 good teams playing, again, you've got to be able to, now you're really going to see where do we have our areas to grow. We talked about this before the game, Greg, and that is a game like this prepares you so much for the tournament because it is a tournament type of feel to it. But what it does, it exposes areas that we've got to get better in as a coaching staff, as players, and that's why this game is so vital.
14-7, Western leading Tipton. Here as we wrap up our Boqua Aquatics halftime show. Again, Tipton will have the ball to start quarter number 3. Not exactly a long drive from Rocheville to Tipton for the majority of Western fans that made it. Again, this is a relatively new conference game.
I tell you what, the thing that both coaches have to be happy with, right now is, as you talked about, they're living up to the hype. Anytime you've got a big game, you want your kids just to relax and play, and they've been doing just that in that first half.
Our upcoming third quarter of action presented by Encompass Credit Union. Encompass Credit Union proudly serves Tipton, Clinton, and Howard counties by offering a full line of deposit, investment, and lending products. They've got a commitment to our communities, and that's a difference you can count on. Check us out at encompasscu.org. Anything different from a tactics standpoint, from a game call standpoint you expect from either side here?
I tell you what, I think they both have made great adjustments on both sides of the ball. They're bringing pressure at times. They're playing great base defense at times. I think, again, they've countered and recountered. Now you've got to go back. Don't out-coach yourself here at halftime. Make sure that you go back to what actually worked for you, whether it be straight ahead or bringing pressure if you're Tipton. And I think Western, again, just keep doing what you're doing and getting the ball in Gifford's hands.
So Western won the toss and elected to receive. That's the second straight game that Lance and I have had where a team won the toss and wanted the football. The last time, though, opposing team said, okay, fine. Onside kick and went and recovered it. And this is the second game this week that Lance and I have had that has been absolutely fantastic. Completely different types of game. Pike and North Central, now Western and Tipton, but again, both have been outstanding. Solid kick that Flanagan fields back at his own 5-yard line. Gets a bit of a seam to the 25 and taken down at about the 28-yard line. And another outstanding special teams play made by Noah Poundall, who is a 175-pound junior outside linebacker.
Tell you what, Poundall has really had a good game thus far, both on defense and in special teams. But again, if I'm Tipton and Coach Toll, I am excited about the idea of getting the ball past the 25. But it looked like that they have a block in the back, which I believe, Greg, is their first penalty.
I love it when you pay attention to what I had to say on the broadcast. 10 yards goes against the Blue Devils. This drive will start inside of their own 20-yard line. Empty set for Roudabush here. 4 wide and a tight end. Oops, 5 wide, excuse me. Take up all 53 yards of the width of the field in this offensive formation. Roudabush, right idea, just threw it behind the runner. Either he thought he was going to sit down in the zone coverage or didn't throw that ball in time. It'll be second down.
Well, I tell you what, again, I like what Western's doing. They really right now are just dropping back. They're trying to keep Roudabush in the pocket by having both ends get upfield and just kind of almost like box him in. And they feel like that's the best way to defend Roudabush at this time.
And we have an injury, and that is the starting running back for Tipton. That is Peyton Carter. And obviously kind of happened behind the play. Our injury timeout, a service of IU Health, Arnett Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Give them a call at 765-448-8000 or at iuhealth.org with more information. It appears that Carter will be okay. Just needs a moment or two, but that is one less weapon currently on the field for head coach Aaron Toll.
Well, Carter was running a flat route, and I think he just slipped and kind of tweaked his leg a little bit just because, in fact, it looked like he came off limping just a little bit there because there wasn't a lot of contact.
We reference head coach Aaron Toll, and much like yourself, a second-generation coach following the family tradition at Tipton High School.
Well, I tell you what, there's something special about coming home. Having played for his dad, Aaron has just done a great job of carrying on the tradition that his dad started many, many years ago.
Tipton has, more often than not, had very successful football teams over the last 3 to 4 decades. This year, no exception. Deep ball. Intended target was Connor. You can see Tipton trying to establish the passing game here early, and that's in part because Carter on the sidelines for that play kind of forces your hand. It's going to be a quarterback draw. And one of the rare times that Tipton's behind the chains tonight. It's third down.
Well, great job again by Western of just kind of playing that bend but don't break, trying to fill those voids and creases and really making it difficult for Radibus to find open receivers.
Line to gain is the 28-yard line. Again, Tipton goes 5 wide. Quarterback draw. Raudebusch breaks a tackle. Extra effort. Think he gets it. We talked about the power rushing game of Western. That time it was the quarterback that delivered the power for Tipton, and that is a massive pickup on 3rd and 10.
Well, Raudebusch, great job using all 200 pounds of his frame to be able to move the chains. Huge first down here. Again, Tipton doesn't need to score here, but they certainly do need to control the ball and just kind of move those chains methodically.
You get the feeling because of how Western operates offensively, if you get down 2 scores against them, you are in trouble.
Very similar to Roncalli from the standpoint that they're happy with 3 and 4 yards. You just don't get a lot of opportunities against Western.
Again, 5 wide. Catch is made by Pierce, and Pierce will turn upfield. That should be a first down as well. First completion of the half in 3 tries for Raudebusch. Now 10 for the game, and that also puts him over 100 yards passing on the night.
I tell you what, the strength of his arm, it didn't look like much there. It was a hitch, but it was from the far hash almost to the numbers. Again, great throw, great timing by Tipton. And again, Western's fine. They're going to play bend, but don't break defense.
Call it a gain of 15 as the ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. Toss play, and that is Lillis. We talk about him as a defender. Spins away from Shaw and eventually steered out of bounds by Sanders and others, and then Sanders can't stop his momentum. And that'll be 15 yards against Western, and that's unfortunate by the Panthers.
Well, Coach Stewart's a little frustrated there. Felt like the play had developed and the tackle had occurred inbounds, even though it ended up out of bounds. And again, the bottom line is safety. And these officials are hearing it from everyone from the ICA on down. And it's just one of those, again, it's hard to get mad at your player when a play like that occurs. Just tip your hat and move forward.
The one thing you notice just in watching is that there's not a lot of space from the sidelines to the track. And so sometimes it can even be visual, too. A referee says, that play near to the track. That's got to be a flag. So one thing to kind of give the kids from Western the benefit of the doubt, but at first glance, I thought it was a flag too.
Well, again, I think to your point, great job on just, there's just not a lot of sideline there.
So 1st and 10 after a 15-yard pickup, 5th penalty for 55 yards against Western. Raudebusch avoids the rush and just kind of threw that one away. 2nd down.
Nice job again. Nice answer by Western and Coach Stewart there, bringing a little pressure. Western really has done a nice job of keeping Raudebusch in the pocket, and then when he's got it outside the pocket, they've been able to still contain him.
One thing that's impressed me about Raudebusch is that clearly he can run the football. You've seen it on this drive, but when he scrambles to throw the ball down the field. He's got a great kind of switch just as to when to do that as a quarterback.
Great vision downfield, done worry about the rush. Really like the overall play of Raudebusch.
Handoff goes to Lillis, and Lillis a solid gain off of left tackle. tackle. That'll set up 3rd down and short, give about 8 or 9 yards.
I love Lillis there again, filling in for the injured Carter here. But again, Lillis, hard runner, north-south runner, doing a nice job moving the chains. And just as we speak, here comes Carter.
Lillis averaging all of 3 carries per game on the season. He is the 4th leading rusher on the year, behind Flanagan, Carter, and Raudebusch. 3rd down. Raudebusch, 1st down, tripped up. Little power football for the quarterback, just off right tackle, 4-yard pickup. 1st down, number 11. And this is the textbook opening drive to start a half by Tipton.
The clock is running. You're running the football. You're throwing the football. You've shown great balance. On that 3rd and short, I love it again. Your quarterback runs. Raudebusch A is a great runner. Had run for 800 yards coming into the game. But it really makes it hard on that defense when you're so stretched out.
A gain of 4, 9.5 minutes, as you saw on the clock, left to go here in quarter number 3. Raudebusch looks to throw. In the flat, overthrows his man, air-mailed that toss.
There's no issue with the strength of Raudebusch's arm. I tell you what, he rips it. Completing about 62% of his passes for the season. He does have a live arm.
Second down and 10. Not sure whom the loser of this game will end up playing in the second place game or third place game in the Hoosier Conference. There could be a bit of a tie at the end of the evening. There's a little counter play. Connor on the handoff. Connor. A little wrinkle that time we haven't seen from Tipton tonight. And that'll set up 3rd down and a yard.
I like it again because we haven't seen that type of counter play by Tipton. Again, nice adjustment by Coach Toll, understanding that down a distance. Plays are great, but the sequence that you call them and the time in which you call them are more important than the actual play itself. But again, Coach Toll gave himself a very third and manageable play here.
Connor with 3 catches earlier in this game. His number is being called a little bit more than it has been earlier in the season. Solid kicking game for Tipton, but you would think it's probably 4-down territory if they don't get it here. Raudebusch follows his blocker. He's got it, 1st down. He'll be pulled back after easily picking up the 1st down. Needed just a yard and got 4.
Nice job again when you got Tipton again schematically. When you're spread out all over the field, you really cannot afford if you're Western to play straight man. So you got to walk guys outside of the box or where the ball is. Nice play design.
Now in theory, the width of the field in terms of how Tipton spreads you out gets nullified a little bit this deep into the red zone as Tipton has the ball now at the Western 15-yard line.
We definitely see Western showing blitz and crowding the line of scrimmage.
Raudebusch throws, tipped, and almost caught. Pierce was the 2nd receiver on the play. Not the intended target originally. And much like in the start of the first half, Raudebusch is kind of racking up some incompletions here early. He had a stretch of 7 consecutive completions from late in the first quarter through most of the second quarter. For the game, he is now 10 of 21 for 107 yards.
Again, he throws it really well. For somebody that runs the ball as well as he does, he has exceptional arm strength, and again, something that he gives Tipton great balance.
Raudebusch on the keeper. Able to pick up 5-6 yards. Extra effort still going. Touchdown. He never stepped out of bounds. What physicality by the quarterback on the carry. Raudebusch from 15 yards out, and the Blue Devils are an extra point away from tying this one up.
Raudebusch is excited about his play there. Huge touchdown, huge opening drive for Tipton here. Again, KJ using all 200 pounds of his frame to take 1, 2, 3 defenders into the end zone. Great start for Tipton.
82-yard opening drive. And a flag against the Blue Devils because one of the linemen flinched a bit. Slack's got a really good leg. A 25-yard extra point shouldn't make that much of a difference. Question is, though, they're going to say I was actually a Western player that caused that guy to move. I don't think so. And now it's confirmed that's not the case. Both teams have converted all 3 of their extra points so far in this game. That was a very Western-like drive from Tipton. Methodical as they march the ball down the field. Slack's kick is good. So a drive that took 4 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock results in this game being tied. It's Western 14 and Tipton 14. And we're back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Thomas Phoenix Lawn and Garden is your local Husqvarna dealer. With us, you'll find a knowledgeable staff that's able to provide quick turnaround service so your business doesn't have to stop. From zero-turn mowers to trimmers and chainsaws, Husqvarna has you covered. And with the fleet program, the more you buy, the more you get in return. With that kind of stability, you can rely on us for the long haul. Get your Husqvarna equipment today at Thomas Phoenix Lawn and Garden, located at 6292 West County Road 0 in Frankfort.
Bellarmine is my home away from home. I feel like I have a family there.
That connectedness kind of pushes everyone as a collective group to be something more.
Everybody looks excited to go to class, and professors even stop in the quad to talk to you, and that's something that you don't find everywhere.
I know that Bellarmine really cares about whether or not their students can afford the university, and they go out of their way to make sure they can afford the university.
I don't think I would be who I am today without Bellarmine University.
Tonight's game brought to us in part by Bellarmine University. An excellent college education is affordable at Bellarmine University in Louisville, the premier independent Catholic university in the South. Bellarmine University, explore the world, start within. Alongside Lance Scheib, Greg Rakestraw with you on the ISC Sports Network. A special hello to our customers watching on Endeavor Communications in the Tipton area. Often we do games involving Endeavor schools in West Central Indiana. It's great to get you folks a little further north this evening to watch your Blue Devils in action. Coleman fields at the 5-yard line, encounters some traffic before he gets to the 20, and is knocked backwards. Heck of a stick that time by Tipton at about the 22-yard line, which is where Western will start the drive.
Great special teams by Tipton. Coleman, I thought, had a lot more in him. Again, got spun around almost like a helicopter there. But again, anytime you can cover inside the 25, I feel like that's a win for your coverage team.
That was Christian Hunter that made the play. And now for Western, if nothing else, that lengthy drive by Tipton plus halftime gave Kitchell Gifford a chance to kind of reload on some electrolytes, given he was worn down a little bit by having 21 carries in half number 1.
I'm always anxious when you have that type of delay to come out of the half, how you play then offensively.
Well, we're going to find out quickly, and Gifford will pick up 3 yards on the play, and Raudebusch is there for the tackle.
One neat thing that you see, especially in single A, double A, 3A, even 4A, is so many of these players going both ways. Again, Raudebusch just scored the go-ahead or the tying touchdown, and then comes back and makes the tackle on the very next play. I love it.
And that's really the difference we're seeing in these two teams. Western is generally not having to do that in tonight's game. Tipton, these guys are going both ways. Engel back in there. The keeper, first time that he has carried the ball tonight, and kind of like a wing T offense, he doesn't do that a lot. Now the issue is that his helmet popped off. They're going to make him exit the game, which kind of limits what your playbook's going to be on 3rd down and 5 if you're Western.
Well, the good thing is they've been in that almost a single wing look with just not having Engel in the game. And as much as Gifford has ran the ball well, it kind of helps here.
For Engel, that's just his 25th carry of the season. So the quarterback run game is not a big part of this offense. They fake the dive, keep by Gifford. He's not going to get it. I think Tipton knows better by now. It's going to take more than 1 or 2 to bring down Gifford. So 4 or 5 are on to make the play. Sets up 3rd and 2, and Western will punt away the football. What an impressive stand backing up your offensive drive by Tipton.
Well, I tell you what, I talked about it when they first started. As a coach, when you're on the sideline for that long, even though you ended the first half so well, you got to try to get back into a rhythm here and look for Western now on defense to probably try to be a little more aggressive.
On the punt, it'll be fielded at the 45-yard line on Sanders' kick, so just a 25-yard punt and no return. And Tipton's been playing from a score behind for a good chunk of this game. Now a chance for the Blue Devils to go out and play from in front.
Well, I tell you what, right now all the momentum is with Tipton in this game, and I don't care, sports in general, momentum is such a big deal, and right now Coach Toll and the Blue Devils have it.
Tonight's game, a service of Tipmont REMC. Visit tipmont.org to schedule your assessment today. Tipmont REMC, empowering our communities.
Anxious to see if Western will get a little more aggressive on defense and see how Tipton reacts to that.
Four-man front shown by Western. Take the handoff, Raudebush on the keeper. And Raudebush gets a couple before he is snowed under. Braden Erb, the sizable fellow, to make the play for Western.
Tell you what KJ's looking at as you're watching the game, especially look at Evan Shaw. Evan Shaw is playing the outside linebacker over the slot receiver, but his head is looking inside. That tells me it's not man-to-man, it's zone, and so he's trying to play both run and pass. So look for Tipton to adjust and try to run a little RPO against Shaw.
This time Tipton will flip the formation. They'll send trips to the top side. Out on bottom side, a play ago. 6 in the box for Western. Raudebush looks to throw. On the out. Beautiful ball. Stoker makes the grab. First down for Tipton. Hartzell makes the tackle.
Tell you what, great throw, great catch. Saw Luke Stoker this spring at camp, and again, just a great possession receiver. Catches everything in sight, but really nice timing by Raudebush and Stoker.
For Stoker, just his second grab of the game. That one goes for 11 yards, and yet another Tipton first down. And clearly Tipton has had the better of it in quarter number 3, as they have had the ball for all but 4 plays of this third quarter. Pass goes left side, Pierce. 7 yards on the first down. Flanagan. Hartzell makes the tackle for Western.
Nice timing again. What I like what Tipton's doing, they're just nickel and diming Western, because Western is playing off, trying to limit the big plays of the Blue Devils. And again, Coach Toll's done this before, so he is just taking the nice, easy, quick hits and getting 5 to 7 yards of play.
The 2nd and 3. Balanced formation this time. Handoff goes to Flanagan, and Flanagan tripped up. He will lose a yard on the play. Tackle is made by Carter Sissel for the Panthers.
Great job by Sissel. And in that case there, had Flanagan, bounced it outside. The blocker was keeping everything inside. And so, again, no one out there to help him once he got outside.
94 yards rushing in this game for Tipton. They have been hard-earned yards, the Blue Devils, namely by Raudebush. 4 down territory here. 3rd down and 4 at the 36-yard line. Raudebush, little option. It's Flanagan, and Flanagan first down. And again, another good wrinkle offensively displayed by Tipton.
Well, again, when you can run and you can hold plays until the second half, again, I love it when you're running option football, so you're not blocking that defensive end. You gain a numbers advantage. Nice job of getting Flanagan on the perimeter. Nice play call there by Coach Toll.
It's also a senior-dominated offense. Your playbook is to be more expansive when that is the case.
Well, you've got these kids that played in games like this. They played West Lafayette last year, so they understand what it's like to play against good people.
Raudebush, the keeper. And Raudebush still going. Raudebush taken down just shy of the 10-yard line. Pownall and Shaw combined on the tackle. First down again for the Blue Devils.
Great job there by Radibus. Last time, Flanagan kind of bounced it outside, ran right where the defender was. That time, Radibus kept it inside. Great pulling kick-out block, and then again, there was nobody left until he got the second level.
More first downs for Tipton in the third quarter than they had in the first half. Second lengthy drive for the Blue Devils, as we're getting towards the late stages of quarter number 3. Raudebusch looking near side. He's got 3 receivers in the pattern. Slings that one towards Pierce. Incomplete pass just before 3 minutes left to go in quarter number 3.
Tell you what, Coach Stewart's being very patient on defense. Again, he's not bringing a lot of pressure. He's playing really a base front, still keeping just 4 down linemen, not bringing a lot of blitzing linebackers as of yet. Really is allowing Raudebusch to stay fairly comfortable and run his stuff.
This is Alex's second year at Western, was the head coach at Northwestern for 2 years before making the move just down the road. The 2 schools west of Kokomo in Howard County. Raudebusch on second down. In the flat, catch made by Pierce, tackle made immediately by Hartsoe. That will be third down and call it 3 after a 7-yard pickup.
Great job by Hartsoe there of limiting the yards after catch there. Like to play design. They create a third and manageable here. A huge play here coming up for both sides.
5th catch of the game for Pierce. And again, Tipton, they've got a solid kicking game. So they are in field goal range. However, they want 7 as the clock approaches 2.5 minutes left to go before the fourth quarter. Carter back in there as a setback. Raudebusch on the keeper. Diving effort by Raudebusch. He does not make the end zone, but I think he's done enough, Lance, to move the chains again and set up 1st and goal.
Well, what I like what happened there by Western is Alt follows the pulling lineman, almost gets Raudebusch in the backfield. You talked about Raudebusch's strength on the last possession. He had enough strength there to run through the arm tackle of Alt, and now making it 1st and goal.
This will take even more time off the clock for the Blue Devils. This snap will come with about 2 minutes, and look at Raudebusch under center. That would mean a quarterback keeper, and that should be a touchdown. Haven't seen a signal yet. Certainly you have now. Touchdown for the Blue Devils, and for the first time tonight, Tipton is in front.
Great job, great back-to-back possessions here. And again, if you're Aaron Toll here, you are thrilled the way that you started the second half, as much as Alex Stewart was thrilled in the first half. Again, that momentum now is all with the Blue Devils here, anxious to see what Coach Stewart does and his Panthers here to respond.
Slack on for the extra point. Raudebusch, his 23rd rushing touchdown of the season. And with 1:56 left to go in the third quarter, back-to-back touchdowns by Tipton in quarter number 3. Put the Blue Devils in front 21-14. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back. More football from Tipton High School comes your way next as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Back at Tipton High School, again, thanks to our great ISC Sports crew, Kevin Gasho, Jake Morris, and Greg Mash working behind the scenes. You get to see 5 high school football games every week on the ISC Sports Network. Remarkably, it's like Lance and I sometimes are in 2 places at one time. We've been around that long. We know the ins and outs of getting around Indiana high school football. Slack is on to knock this ball down the field. Coleman will bobble it. That's not Coleman, but because that ball gets in the end zone, that still counts as an automatic touchback. That is Gifford, the primary tailback, and it's kind of a sign of how things have gone for Western in the third quarter. Not much has gone their way, and I wouldn't say that Western dominated by any stretch of the imagination in the first half, but they had the better of it. Tipton has flipped the script in half number 2.
Well, I tell you what, again, this momentum that happens in high school sports or sports in general is so fun to be able to watch and be a part of. And again, as easily as things went for Western in the first half, they've been limited offensively. And again, defensively, they've had no answer in the first 2 drives against that Tipton offense.
Engel back in. Gifford gets the handoff. And this is more of what we saw from Western in the first half. 5-yard pickup for Gifford, because now their offense needs to give their defense a break, because they have been on this field for right at about 9 of the 10 minutes in quarter number 3.
Well, you allude to it, Greg. You know, there's not as many players for Western going both ways. The best thing that they can do right now is try to wear down these two-way players of Tipton.
Snap goes to Gifford, and Gifford taken down. That is Carter that makes the tackle, about a yard shy of the first down marker. Western's had a couple of linemen that go both ways, but of their skill position kids, most of those are seeing action just for half the game.
Well, I tell you what, the one thing that I like what Tipton's doing is the backside of the play now is starting to run down Gifford from the backside. So, again, what you're trying to do is build a wall on the front side of it and let the backside come from behind to clean it up.
Simply have to get the nose of the football to the 30. Handoff goes to Gifford. Gifford will back his way in. That's why you don't skip leg day, kids. First down Western as he crosses the 30-yard line.
You know, Greg, you allude to it, but again, all this offseason workouts, all the weights, how things have transformed high school football and athletics in general, this is why you do it. You're late in the season. Everybody is banged up, but it's one of those things. This is when those sprints and the cardio and the weight room pays off in games like this.
Less than a minute to go here in quarter number 3. By our count, Gifford now 26 carries for 199 yards, but 5 for 16 here in the third quarter. And that is the first down of the quarter. Engel going to look to throw, looking for the deep ball. It's a great play design. He just threw that ball a little too far. And Western still has yet to complete a pass in this game. They're 0 for 3. Casey Vale was the intended target on that play.
Well, tell you what, we talked about before the game that they had 20 completions, Engel did, but 11 of them were for touchdowns. Understand now why. But again, just through just a little bit, but looks like we have an illegal formation or procedure call.
Probably had somebody that was covered up or not enough guys in the line of scrimmage. When you don't throw the ball very often, sometimes that's what happens. And Tipton will say, yep, even though we'll wipe away an incomplete pass, we'd rather have the yardage against this rushing team. 6th penalty of the game, going against Western for 50 yards with 17.6 seconds left to go.
Well, as you allude to, a team that really doesn't want to throw the ball, you might think, why would you decline it? Again, you really want to force Western to have to do something they don't like to do. Not that they can't, but they would rather just run the ball.
Double handoff. It's Coleman on the counter. Coleman, first down and more for Coleman. Tipton giving chase. Coleman down the sidelines. Flanagan, the guy, has a chance to get to him and does, but not until he gets the 15-yard line. We saw one play like that from Gifford in the opening half. Western with a big play just as they needed it.
I tell you what, you saw the Tipton sideline pointing to the far right side because they knew the play setup or the formation was here comes some kind of counter. The players just didn't react the way the players did. Great run by Coleman.
Coleman's 4th carry of the game. That one goes for 61 yards. Should be time for one more play left to go here before we get to the fourth quarter.
Great answer, Greg, again, by Western there. A much-needed big play or explosive play by the Panthers.
So Engel out of the game. Again, the counter. That's to Paget after Coleman Might need some oxygen after a 60-yard sprint. That'll be a gain of 4 for Paget. And that should bring us to the end of the third quarter. Well, this game has not disappointed from the opening kickoff. It is Tipton that takes a 7-point lead into the fourth quarter of this crucial Hoosier Conference matchup. We're back with the fourth quarter after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Again? I'm going to miss the big game.
Troubled by your TV provider? Endeavor is here with ETV. With Endeavor's television service, there's no need to worry about a thunderstorm or whether your satellite dish is pointed in the right direction. We also provide internet, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Time for the fourth quarter now at Tipton High School. It's presented by Indiana Wesleyan. Indiana Wesleyan University, the world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. Indiana Wesleyan can help you discover, clarify, or develop your calling. Schedule a visit today at discoveriwu.com. By the way, a tip of the cap to the Wildcats on their first year of intercollegiate football as they become the fourth school in Indiana to play at the NAIA level, joining fellow Crossroads League rivals Marion, Taylor, and, of course, the two-time defending champion in St. Francis, who has now lost their last two games. Second down, at the 11-yard line. It's Gifford. Gifford bounces it outside. Erb as his lead blocker. Nowhere to go. Connor helps wrap him up.
Incredible job by Tipton. It looked like all 11 players were pulling for Western that time. I could not believe that Tipton limited the yardage to what they did because Gifford, so patient, so good. But again, great job by Tipton of just kind of slowing down those pullers enough to let everybody else on the defense get to Gifford.
That does take Gifford to 200 yards rushing on the game. Sets up 3rd down and 6. Need to reach the 4-yard line. Gifford again, just into the pile. I don't think he's going to get there. He'll be just shy. And again, given how Western runs the football, you're thinking going for it here.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I love that last shot. You talk about foot to foot. Again, there's nowhere for Tipton to try to make penetration.
They're not taking wide splits, are they?
No. Again, this is Brett Colby. This is what Kokomo used to be able to do all the time. It is football in a phone booth at its finest. And, boy, are they making it look good here with their offensive drive.
They got to get to just shy of the 4-yard line. A yard to gain. And I'm not sure he got there. I think Tipton stopped him. Connor got in behind the offensive line, and Tipton with the defensive play of this game. We've got to make sure the chains are set. The back of the ball is in the 5-yard line. They will bring the chains out to be sure, but I think from where the chains are, he didn't make it.
What a great job, again, of collapsing the outside there. Again, Gifford had done a great job all game. They've been stopped too many times, but I think you're right. Tipton did an incredible job on that 4th down play.
When they pull this tight, it's short. It's short. Didn't get it. And, Frank, I thought it was the right call.
Yep.
Absolutely the right call. Tipton simply made a play, and Western is kept out of the end zone.
Well, again, there's a reason why these teams are where they are. Again, both of them giving up less than 16 points a game. And again, as much as their offense is vaunted, as all this great things coming in, defense wins championships, and there's a reason that Tipton is 7-0 because their defense is making plays like they just did, which I thought was almost impossible to stop Western at 4th and short.
So Tipton will take over with 10:33 left to go in this game. And their goal is to simply get some first downs at this point. Handoff goes to Connor. And Connor, solid pickup. Shaw amongst those to help bring him down. Exactly what you want. Give your offense a little more room to operate. Give him 6 yards on the play.
Really, all you're trying to do right now is get 2 first downs. Anytime you're inside your own red zone, if you can get 2 first downs, get the ball out to the 30 or past the 30-yard line, you'll feel good about things because you got a chance to flip the field.
So second down. Bobbled snap. And Routabush still able to get a little bit of something out of it to pick up a yard or 2. And it sets up 3rd down and medium here for Tipton. Routabush 15 carries for 68 yards, but has a pair of the touchdowns. And for the rushing or passing strength of Routabush, of note, Tipton, all 3 of their scores have been on the ground in this game.
I tell you what, the neat thing about this, and we talk about this kind of being like a pre-tournament game, if you're going to win in Indiana late in the tournament, you got to be able to run the ball.
Line to gain is the 15, and they will try to throw it. Catch is made, first down. And that is just a win by formation that time by Tipton. Go to the guy that's got a yard or 2 of cushion. It was Pierce, his 6th catch of the night, and another Tipton first down.
Tell you what, the ball comes out so fast and so clean for Routabush. Not a lot of time to react. Again, in that case, you got multiple receivers. Pick the best option. Pick where, again, you didn't have to go very, very far. Make it a very quick and easy throw. Balls out. They can't bring pressure. They being Western. Nice for first down by the Blue Devils.
Routabush now 14 for 26, 138 yards passing in this game. Entered the game with 14 passing touchdowns, did Routabush. Empty set again. Slings this one right side, catch made. Defensive back made a break on the ball. He didn't miss it by much, but it does allow Pierce to pick up some extra yardage. Call it a gain of 9 on first down.
Great job again. What I like about what Coach Toll's doing here is he's attacking. They're running their offense here, and again, that's creating balance and that's staying with balance. That's what's worked in the second half for Tipton.
So second and short, kind of a free play, if you will, here for Tipton. And with that, Routabush walks to his slot receiver to make sure everybody's on the same page here. And again, you don't mind taking every second of the play clock. You got the ball in the 4th quarter, the 7-point lead. Routabush pump and go. Throwing the deep ball. Catch is made. That's Pierce. First down again for Tipton. And again, I love the decision-making process there. Second a yard, you feel confident you can get it. If you don't hit on the big play, throw the ball down the field.
Well, Pierce has had just a monster game. And Routabush, again, gives his receiver every chance to make a big play. They had done so many hitches back to back to back. Here comes that hitch and go, and you call it, Greg, and great execution by the Blue Devils.
That also flips the field position as well for Tipton. We'll say that gain goes for 22 yards, and what a night that Pierce is having. 8 catches for 92 yards this evening. 19th first down of the game for the Blue Devils. Handoff, nope, keeper. Lost the football. Football is loose and recovered by Gage Holder for Western. Frankly, it's the first mistake that either offense has made. And Western, I didn't say they were out of it, but they're certainly right back in it now as they pick the ball up at midfield.
Great job, very, very costly, and really, Routabush didn't get hit. He just dropped the football, just trying to make a play, And again, great job by Gage on jumping on the ball and surely giving Western a little life here.
So first turnover of the game happens with 7.5 minutes left to go in the contest. There was an earlier Tipton fumble by Flanagan. However, a teammate quickly pounced on it. Engel to Gifford. 4 blockers in front. And Gifford just works his way through and calmly picks up 7 or 8 yards.
What I love happens here is Western just does what they do. There's no panic here. Yes, there's 7 minutes to go, but great job.
You referenced Roncalli earlier in the game, and the effort that Gifford is giving is reminding me of some old stats that Roncalli tailbacks would pick up. I did a game where a kid for Roncalli named Scott Luggering had 50 touches in one game, 47 carries and 3 receptions. Gifford's on 30 carries for the game for 212 yards. That shotgun snap picked up some dirt, but Engel's able to pick it up. Now on the double handoff, Coleman on the counter has the first down.
Well, I tell you what, having played against Roncalli 7 different times, this is very similar to what they do. Again, they're very content on having the ball in running plays for 3 to 4 yards.
Coleman now 5 carries for 80 yards. Of course, last drive he had 1 for 61 yards. It's Gifford again, and Gifford will pick up a solid 5 yards on first down.
Great job by Gifford of just moving the chains.
Back in a moment.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions. Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't: give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
Pretty special, right? Where else can you get this?
No, pretty much anywhere.
What?
What? Oh, yeah, no, I meant Xfinity On Demand. You get it on all your devices, anytime, anywhere. But yeah, this you can only get here. Dude, where's your horse?
Who cares?
Awesome is having the most TV shows and movies anywhere with Xfinity On Demand.
We're shopping for new floor covering at Carpetland USA. You may think we're too little, but let's face it, we're a lot closer to the ground. We know floors. See what I mean? Carpetland USA has a ginormous selection. But most of all, we can count on these guys. Over 200 years of combined experience. That's older than me!
Carpetland USA, State Road 26.
We apologize for stepping away, but unfortunately a bit of a technical glitch. Good news is you didn't miss any scoring plays. A couple of plays, Western's able to get the ball inside the Tipton 20-yard line, and it sets up 2nd down and 1 at the 19. Gifford tackled from behind. It's Carter that makes the play. 3rd down and 2.
Another great job by the front side of Tipton's defense, really slowing down and giving Gifford nowhere to go, giving Carter a chance to come from the backside to make a great loss.
So 3rd down and 2. Obviously, it's 4-down territory because if you're Western, you're not sure you're getting the football back at this point. We get to the later stages of quarter number 4. Engel, the counter play. It's Coleman, 1st down. And Coleman, he can show that the little guy can break some tackles too. Lillis eventually drags him down, but not before Coleman picks up 9 yards.
Great job by Lillis, but Coleman, again, you talked about it, and we've talked or referenced it all game. You can't find him. He is a great wingback for that counter play because you can't get to him.
He's the Darren Sproles of Western high school football.
Great call.
I just sent Colts fans into a series of nervous ticks. Down the sideline, Gifford scores. Gifford from 11 yards out, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 23rd on the season. And Western a point away from tying this one up.
Great job of being patient again, following his pullers. And again, it just was a case there where Western had more people at the point of attack with all their pullers. And again, the great vision of Gifford allow the ball to be scored and 1 point away from a tie.
Did we expect anything less in this game?
I tell you what, as you talked about, it's great when a game lives up to the hype.
Crucial extra point here. All 5 extra points converted on so far, and this one is no different. Tied at 21 late in the fourth quarter. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Let's thank our friends at Marian University for their presentation of tonight's game. Marian, looking for future leaders who want to make the world a better place for all of us. Find out what you're made of at Marian University. Visit us at marian.edu/visit.
I tell you what now, if you are Tipton, you're going to go back to exactly what you did on those opening 2 drives here and what you've done all half, and that is creating great balance and trying to be able to make sure that you keep Western off balance by staying one step ahead of doing more than just being one-dimensional.
Now here, though, is where Tipton, again, you don't fault either team for the success they've had and how they've gone about getting there with 5:12 left to go. But it is the one advantage that Tipton has. Western hasn't shown they can consistently throw the football. Tipton has that balance. So if they need to move the football quickly to get either in the field goal range or for a game-winning touchdown, KJ Raudebusch has that ability for this football team.
Well, we've seen him, and you alluded to this earlier, he's a little streaky. I mean, he'll go 5-6 in a row, then miss five or 6. But I know this, he is a gamer, he is a senior. And I look for him to make great plays down the stretch.
Well, he's on a good streak because he's completed 6 of his last 7 and his last 4. Kick is away, an outstanding one. This one backs Carter all the way to the 2-yard line. Finds some room to run. Solid run back. He'll cross the 30-yard line on a 29-yard kick return.
What I like there, Greg, is, Carter is just kind of taking his time, trying to figure out, and then that burst, once he finds that hole, is just fantastic. And again, allowing Tipton to start in great field position.
As you can see, both teams have all 3 timeouts if needed.
Be anxious here if Coach Stewart, he's been pretty vanilla here in the second half, if he'll start applying pressure to Raudebusch.
Packers hinting at a blitz, but now they drop off as soon as you say that. Little option play, Raudebusch on the keeper. And Raudebusch will get a couple, maybe 3.
Really well played there by Western. Didn't let the motion or the fake, really that triple option look there, affect him. And again, what the end did is we call that feathering. Feathering means you don't attack. You just kind of wait. And really there was nowhere for Raudebusch to go with the ball.
You just kind of sit there and take up space. Some of us are better at that than others. 2nd down and 7. Coming up here for the Blue Devils. Raudebusch now 17 carries for 73 yards, 2 touchdowns and a fumble. Again, 6 in the box for Western. It's been their standard defense tonight. Raudebusch fires. Catch made, but for a minimal gain. Pierce with his 9th grab of the night. But he'll pick up just 3 yards, and it's 3rd down and 4.
Tell you, Raudebusch and Tipton are not shy about throwing that 45-yard hitch. Because when you're going from one hash to the opposite numbers, you're looking at about a 40-yard throw, and he has thrown those on a dime all game.
Line to gain is the 41-yard line. Tipton's been picking up first downs a good chunk of this half. But a miscue there. Now they might get bailed out with a flag for a false start. Western's got the football, but I think this play is going to be blown dead.
It's when their own miscue kind of works into
Yes.
their favor because they actually moved before the ball was snapped.
If you're Aaron Toll, that is your best penalty of the season right there.
Exactly. And again, that I think the guard moving caused the center to snap the ball early.
So 3rd and 9. This is just the 4th drive for Tipton of the half. First 2 resulted in touchdowns. The last one, the fumble at midfield, but again, that could have been even worse because that drive for Tipton started at their own 5 after they were able to stop Western on 4th and a yard at the 5-yard line. Under 5 minutes now left to go in this game. Tipton has converted a 3rd and 10 in this half. Raudebush, what a throw. What a fantastic throw. But that's a cramp for the young man at the end of the play. Hopefully nothing worse than that. But still a first down for Tipton.
Great job. Again, Western brings pressure. Again, 3rd and 9. They're going to try to go get Raudebush. Great job of moving the pocket by Coach Toll. And again, what a throw and catch for the Tipton Blue Devils.
That is a 13-yard pickup. And again, given the warmth of this weekend, temperatures surprisingly in the 80s today for week 8 of the high school football season. Not surprised that somebody cramp up given the effort that both these teams have given and how many kids for Tipton are playing both ways today.
Well, I tell you what, again, we talked about that. That was a huge advantage for Western, not having as many players, especially skilled players, going both ways as Tipton has. But again, to their credit, it has been just a fantastically well-played game on both parts with all players involved.
Raudebush, 185 yards passing, now 18 for 30, and he has completed his last 6 passes. 20 first downs in this game for the Blue Devils. If you're Tipton, you frankly don't want to give the ball back to Western. You want to make this the last drive of the game. Raudebush again. Catch made. Tackle made immediately. That was Stoker, and Stoker will not get credit for a yard gain.
Great job in general of open field tackling. When you're going to win and you're going to be successful, you have to be able to tackle in space, and that's exactly what Western's done all night.
So 2nd down and 10 coming up for Tipton. They've been great about picking up first downs, but they've done it a lot of the times on 3rd down as well. Right now they are facing 2nd down and 10. We're back in just a moment.
We have health coverage.
Not me. Not having health insurance can be hard on your family's budget and prevent you from getting the care you need. Covering Kids and Families of Indiana has local licensed navigators committed to helping your family, kids, and adults get the right health care coverage. Our navigators will guide you through the steps at no cost. Make an appointment by visiting www.ckfindiana.org. Se habla español.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
And we apologize for the glitch. What you missed was a 6-yard pickup on 2nd down and 10. It sets up 3rd down and 4. Western looks like they're bringing the house here. And Tipton will call a timeout given the defensive formation. So first timeout used by either side here in the second half. Let's thank our friend at Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden. With mowers from Ferris and Husqvarna, you know we can help you make your tall grass short. Give them a call at 765-296-2988 or visit thomasphoenixlawnandgarden.com for more information. That is on my Sunday schedule of things to do with no Colts game this weekend. Lance, what about you?
Well, I tell you what, the biggest thing that we're going to do is do as much yard work myself as I can do, and that is cutting the grass. No Colts game, so that means I'm probably not going to watch a lot of pro football, but it should be hopefully a very relaxing Sunday.
Making the hundreds of thousands you did as a high school coach. We got 10 acres, 15 that you got to mow. How much?
I tell you what, we're happy with the half acre that we live on.
0.19, my brother. That's how much grass you got to mow when you live in the Rakestraw Radio Estate in northern Indianapolis. All right, 3rd down and 4 coming up here. But I'm sure the folks at Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden will have the perfect mower for me next time I'm buying a new mower. Line to gain is the 45-yard line. Again, Western shows blitz. Now they'll back out of it. That's what they've done most of the night. Raudebush fires. Knocked away. Knocked away. Hartzell makes the play for Western.
I'll tell you what, Hartzell has really done a great job both in defending and in tackling, and Connor has really played well all game. And again, what I love about him, right or the left hand or the proper hand used to knock the ball away.
Frank Reich has made 4th down calls something of a water cooler conversation over the last week. You going for it? Looks like Tipton's going for it. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I tell you what, because of the inability of Western to be able to throw the ball, I like the call.
Well, they're going to back him up. It's going to be a punt formation. They kept all their offensive players on. But for the first time this half, Raudebush will punt it. Low line drive kick. Western have a player back. It's a real estate ball at the 10-yard line. Outstanding kick by Raudebusch, 39-yard boot. And again, you've got a Western team, and part of the reason I like the call to punt is the standpoint of a Western team that hasn't shown they can throw the football. You're going to make them drive the length of the field, and now if you're Tipton, if you can get a stop or two, you can use those timeouts trying to get the football back.
Well, you know the one thing right now, you're either playing to try to score or you're trying to play to get to overtime. And so I'm anxious to see what Coach Stewart does. Their offense leads me to believe that they're playing for overtime. Not that they're not going to try to score, but offensively they're going to run the ball probably on all three downs here.
The goal for Westerns, fumble. And that makes the decision to punt even better by Tipton. And that's really kind of the first offensive miscue, even though it wasn't a turnover. First real misstep like that for Western tonight.
Well, I tell you what, we're late in this ball game here. A lot on the line. Two great teams playing a fantastic game here. And again, a miscue or turnover really could be costly and could be a game changer.
So now it's 2nd down and 18. Handoff goes to Gifford. Gifford gets the 5. Raudebusch the tackle. And now if you're Tipton, do you burn a timeout here or do you wait until 3rd down and save 1? It certainly looks like timeout has been called. So 3rd and 14 coming up. But in a game that is so closely contested, it might be that errant snap that could help decide the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're in a situation that when you get behind the chains, Tipton has ability a little bit more than what Western does to make that part up here, especially this late in the game. You're trying to do everything that you can to get the ball out of your part of your field just to give yourself, your punter, a little bit more room.
The line to gain is the 20. And Western officially has only attempted 2 passes the entire game. They had 1 pass attempt called back because of a penalty. And they have not completed a ball tonight. They average 3 completions per game. Now, when they do complete passes, good things happen. They have 20 completions, 10 of which have gone for touchdowns this season. But they do not have a yard passing in tonight's game. They'll look for one here. Engel throws and underthrows his man. And now if you're Tipton, now you have a timeout in your pocket and should get the ball back at about midfield. That could not have gone any better for Aaron Toll and company.
Well, I tell you what, it's one of those things, again, if you run the ball there, you force Tipton to use their last timeout. If you throw it and don't make it, now you're going to get second guessed. And with this short amount of time left, again, I don't think it's a bad call there, but I know that they're going to give Tipton the ball back with great field position.
Punt by Sanders, not a great one. Goes out of bounds at the 20-ish yard line. Oh my goodness. You can almost run the ball 3 times here for Tipton and take your chances with a field goal.
Well, I tell you what, it's been such a well-played game. Talked about special teams earlier. Hate to see a punt like that kind of hurt a team like it's going to. But again, if you're Tipton, it's why you punted on 4th down. You want your defense to be able to cause a turnover or a 3-and-out, and they did so. And now you've got the ball with under a minute and a half to go inside your opponent's 20. Again, you need just a couple plays here and a kick, and you've got a chance to win the game.
Now, Slack has not made a field goal this year. Frankly, Tipton hasn't needed field goals this year, but he is 44 of 50 on extra points. And I'm not sure this ball is going to anybody else other than KJ Raudebusch at this point.
And the ball will stay right in the middle of the field here. The decision now, does Coach Stewart want to call timeout because he understands of what Tipton is trying to be able to do here, and at least give himself a little bit of time if they want to kick the ball late.
Raudebusch now 18 carries for 76 yards. Slack has made all 3 of his extra points tonight. And as of now, it would be a 33-yard field goal. Raudebusch. He will hand the ball off. Carter upended by Shaw, but a solid pickup A gain of 5 for Carter. Sets up 3rd down and 2.
And again, if I'm Coach Toll, I'm going to my kicker Slack and say, okay, where do you want the ball? You want the ball in the middle, you want the left hash, the right hash, and that's exactly where the ball will end up after this play.
Line to gain for the first down is the 9. Handoff Carter. Carter's got it. Extra effort by Carter. Clock is stopped because of the first down. As Carter gets the ball to the 5-yard line, a 6-yard pickup. Carter 6 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown tonight. And Tipton fans will watch that clock continue to roll. And now we will see a timeout taken by Tipton, which means they are sending the field goal unit on right now. They have taken this clock down as far as they want to go. And Slack will be asked to basically make an extra point plus 2 yards to send Tipton to 8-0 and put them in the conference championship game. Well, clearly this is a game you'd like to watch again from either team's perspective. To do that, you can download the ISC Sports Network app and watch this game when you'd like it. We'll give this game multiple airings on the channel, but watch it on your schedule by downloading the ISC Sports Network app or going to our website at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Well, Greg, you talked about the fact that Slack has not made a field goal, but his extra points, the ball's up in the air. It's been strong. It hasn't been close. I would be surprised. He's got enough leg here. I'll be just anxious to see how he handles the moment and if he's able to execute it.
By the way, 75 for Western. That's not Margus Hunt. That's Daniel Marley that goes 6'8" and 325. Hard not to notice him entering the game with the design of you kind of need to kick it over the tallest guy we got on the field. And now the timeouts will start to be taken as Western will take one here. Let's thank some great sponsors that have brought you tonight's football game on the ISC Sports Network. Encompass Credit Union, proudly serving Tipton, Clinton, and Howard counties by offering a full line of deposit, investment, and lending products. They've got a commitment to their communities. That's a difference you can count on. Check them out online at encompasscu.org. By Marian University, looking for future leaders who want to make the world a better place for all of us. Find out what you're made of at Marian University. Visit at marian.edu/visit. By Bellarmine University. An excellent college education is affordable at Bellarmine University in Louisville, the premier independent Catholic university in the South. Bellarmine University, explore the world, start within. Boqua Aquatic Fitness, an exercise program combining aquatics, athletics, and high-intensity interval training. It's a water workout your body will love you for. And by Indiana Wesleyan University, the world is waiting. Schedule a visit at iwu.com today. Snap back, Slack's kick, plenty of leg, good! And Tipton takes the lead, 24-21, with 1 second left to go in the game.
I tell you what, great job by the snapper and holder, and then Slack just does this. What I'm impressed with by the senior, the moment wasn't too big. He came through for his teammates. One of those things, again, that he will remember the rest of his life.
Now, in the excitement of making the kick, Slack was run into, and so that will be a penalty against Western. Obviously, Tipton is not taking points off the board. That will simply be assessed on the kickoff. But as you can also see, a player down at the end of the play for Western. And their player's taking a knee. So it is an injury update presented by IU Health, Arnett Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. IUhealth.org, 765-448-8000. I think there are 2 players down on the play, but you can tell that the one that is in your frame is the one that is being attended to more seriously. And you worry, given the fact that you see a pair of hands on a young man's knee, that could be a significant injury.
Well, you never want to see kids go down. You never want to see kids injured. And you don't want to end this great game with a couple of your starters getting nicked up because, again, both these teams have aspirations of going deep into the tournament and for all the right reasons. They both are capable of doing so. But, again, you don't like to see this as we end the game.
All right, with that, while they're going to take care, and you see actually it's a player from Tipton and a player from Western that are currently down on the ground. Let's quickly step aside. We'll come back with some injury thoughts, and with only a second left to go in the game, Tipton has taken a 24-21 lead, with the winner moving on to next week's Hoosier Conference Championship game. We're back to wrap it up next on the ISC Sports Network.
And just like that, it is a one-run lead for Texas.
Pushes it ahead with the jam. It's down. We're going to see a slamma-jamma.
Put it in the air. Marley's there. Touchdown. Is it caught? Touchdown. Came down with the ball in the end zone. With the three. Up the middle. Touchdown.
Looking for the alley-oop.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
At Mulberry Health, we support each member of our family in living a full, rich, meaningful life. Our experienced team of caregivers brings that mission to life each day. We treat each resident as an individual, from knowing how someone prefers their coffee to which activities they enjoy most.
I could not take care of my mom the way they take care of them here. I've just been very happy with my experience and my mom's experience here. I look forward to seeing my mom grow here.
Visit us online or come see us yourself. We would love to show you around.
You have enough on your plate. Let McAllister Rentals' wide selection of equipment help. With an extensive equipment selection and experienced people, McAllister Rentals in the Cat Rental Store is your one-stop shop for all your equipment needs. You know we can help you with the big jobs, from moving dirt to getting you in the air. But did you also know that we can handle your smaller equipment needs with equipment like generators and water pumps? McAllister Rentals has made its mark with locations throughout Indiana and now Michigan. We pride ourselves on our reliable equipment, fast service, and knowledgeable people. Visit us online today or give us a call. McAllister Rentals, helping build Indiana since 1945.
At Marian University, we will challenge you because you want to change our world. But understand, you're not in this alone. There will be mentors preparing you to lead, people of faith, and professors with real-world experience, ensuring that you're prepared for your career. When you leave Marian, you'll be ready when life asks the question, what are you made of?
All right, so players injured on both sides, and already being assisted with the sidelines was Noah Sanders, who's a cornerback and a punter for Western. The lineman that is being helped off the field for Tipton is Brogan Brown, a senior. Brown able to put a little bit of weight on that leg. Sanders was not putting any weight on that leg at all, which is a bit scary, and you don't want to see any young man hurt, but especially when it's a specialty player for your kicker, or not your kicker, but your punter. That could be a bit of a problem for Western going forward. So a second left to go in this game. And if you're Tipton, you just bury this thing on the ground, correct?
You make this thing go every which way. You just make sure that you don't allow it to get to that last wall here. You make that second wall player get it. And the advantage that Tipton's going to have is they're going to have 15 yards closer because of the penalty, which means the ball could get into the end zone, which would actually work into their favor as well.
So Slack is on to boot this ball away. And again, normally, a lot of times in high school football, this 45-yard line kick is an automatic onside call, but not in this scenario here. You're trying to keep the ball in play, so it has to be a kick return and not an offensive snap for Western. But you don't want to give the other team a free chance to run the ball back down the field. Let's see what Slack can do to kind of top the driver. It's exactly what he does. And once this ball is touched, the clock starts. Now it is a series of laterals here for Western. Ball is thrown back to Coleman. Coleman issues it back to another player. He's trying to find some room to run. A forward lateral, I think, has been called. Hence, that's why the flag is thrown. A Tipton player knocks it down, and go figure. The kid that hits the game-winning kick falls on the football. Game is over because Tipton will they'll wipe away the penalty. And what a tremendous game. And Tipton will have a chance to play for the Hoosier Conference Championship when they host West Lafayette next Friday night.
What a game. Again, by both teams. Congratulations to Coach Toll and the Tipton Blue Devils. Well played by Western Panthers and Coach Stewart. Again, should be a great matchup next week with Tipton and West Lafayette.
And let's go directly into our Pepe's Mexican Restaurant postgame show. Make Pepe's your choice for pregame or postgame celebration. Bring your friends and family and enjoy selecting from our extensive menu of wonderfully tasting authentic Mexican dishes. 2525 Sagamore Parkway, next Tippecanoe Mall. Lance, your final thoughts on what was a phenomenal football game.
I'll tell you what, just well played on both sides. Great players made great plays. Excited for the game in general to live up to what it did. Congratulations to Nathan Slack on his game-winning field goal.
Our player of the game, and it could have went a couple of different directions, but for Tipton it's going to be KJ Raudebush. Raudebush finished the game with 188 yards passing. He also finished with 76 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. He was outstanding tonight.
Well, KJ came in as that dual threat quarterback and athlete, and he did just that tonight, carrying his team to a fantastic win over a very good Western Panther team.
So we have referenced that Tipton will be at home again on Friday night when they play host to West Lafayette in the Hoosier Conference Championship game. Western will get Lafayette Central Catholic at home as they play for third place in the Hoosier Conference, and then it is on to the postseason for each of these two talented teams. Our play of the game presented by Tipmont REMC. Visit tipmont.org to schedule your assessment today. Tipmont REMC, empowering our communities. For Lance Schaub and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you, Tipton. Thank you, Western, for a fantastically played football game on this Friday night. Applause definitely appropriate for the Tipton Blue Devils. They beat Western 24-21. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.